now entering the Bass Galaxy.
This is Teal's Bass Galaxy. I'm your host. This podcast is about raw, real conversations with real awesome people about bass fishing, bass boats, and heck, there are no limits in the galaxy. Attention all Bastronauts. This podcast is supported by the Bass Galaxy's title sponsor, Waypoint Angler Supply, the Midwest's new landing pad for hardcore anglers just like you and me. If you're looking for the sneaky goods you can't find anywhere else, look no further. Waypoint Angler Supply has the largest offering of JDM tackle in the Midwest, and they are right here in Minnesota on Lake Minnetonka. This is truly a place every bass fisherman in Minnesota needs to visit because we finally have a tackle shop in the state that's as dreamy as the ones you find down south. And the staff at Waypoint Angler Supply understands the various needs of us anglers, which is why you'll find the selection there so enticing. Ross and the folks at Waypoint Angler Supply are passionate about carrying the right stuff, providing an authentic customer experience, and they listen to the anglers. And it doesn't end at JDM baits. They stock all the top U.S. brands, as well as local Minnesota brands like Veselka Fishing and Customs, Arsenal Fishing, Bait Lab Custom Swim Baits, All Terrain Tackle, Bagley Northland, Outcast Tackle, and more. So stop into their store on Lake Minnetonka or visit their website, waypointanglersupply.com. That's waypointanglersupply.com. Use the code GALAXY20 to save 20% on your next tackle binge. Today's guests are two special dudes. We got two Kyles in the house. These guys fish on the national level. They've competed on the national level and come real close at a big, big trophy, and they're doing it right now. These are two business owners. These are two guys that have competed at the state level, the national level, and two guys I just have the utmost respect for. First off, we've got used to be walleye, now Bass Pro, Kyle Minke, ladies and gentlemen. And joining Kyle, we've got Kyle Classic Bass Killa Schutta, who also is a dominant hammer in the South. So I'm really excited to get into these guys' brains and understand how they think, have a few cold ones. Let's kick this one off. Maker's Mark. Well, boys, welcome to the Galaxy. Thanks for making the trip out here today. It's not too often you get two Kyles in the same room.
Right. Yeah. We get that a lot on the road
constantly.
For sure.
So you two travel together. You two eat dinner together. You two come out to the Bass Galaxy together. And we were actually just talking about how you each found the woman, the one, the keeper.
The keeper, for sure.
In a wife. And I think there's a lot of people that probably want to learn a lot about how you guys fish, but I think what allows you guys to fish is that young wife. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
so
for sure.
Let's hear about how you you got to fish for a wife, then maybe you can fish for a living, or how does that work?
It sure helps having a wife that's as cool as Kyle and I's, that let us do what we do and the things they do for us. So
yeah, I mean, it's a long time in the process. I mean, Kyle and I have both been with our wives for a long time. I mean, 10 plus years, but man, I can tell you, it's just, when you got to keep her and helping out with tournaments and everything, and just at the house too. We both own real small construction companies, and them just helping out with that allows us to be able to travel and do some other stuff, and just gives you the freedom. I mean, if you got somebody in your corner, that just helps.
Yeah, well, I've had a few drinks with Shelby and up at Pelican. She's a sweetheart, but I haven't met Jenna.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked with her a little bit when you got your
boat.
That's
right. Yeah.
And she was very nice. She was checking in on the build process.
Right.
Hey, Is the fucking boat ready yet? No, she was real nice, but she sounds like a peach too.
I think she would say that because
She'll crack the whip. She's not afraid.
For sure, no.
What'd you call her again?
Jaybird?
Jaybird, just
yeah.
Bird for short. But
All right.
you were asking about her, her personality and everything, and
Yeah.
I referred to her as cheeky. I mean, she is. She's cheeky.
Sounds like a keeper.
We got into this Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, we
Love
or
Theo
whatever.
Vaughn.
Oh my god, dude. We laughed so hard last week when we
Oh
were
my gosh.
practicing down at Lake the Ozarks, and oh man.
He's talking about, is it Lainey Wilson or something, and her sister, and he's like, how would you describe is she cheeky like you? And he goes, what is it? Did she fit in a saddle?
Yeah,
She fit in a saddle?
Right.
We would always describe them like on our trips to Lansing back when I worked at Intune full time. We would say it's a 10-pound Christmas ham. Yeah. Extra cheeky.
Nice.
So you boys just got back from a tournament, and you two travel together. You guys fish. There's so many damn tournaments nowadays. The Toyota series, I believe it's called.
I don't fish the Toyotas anymore. I have for a few years, and last year we both had a pretty good year. I ended up qualifying for the MLF Invitationals.
That's what it is.
Minke got on there, and now we both fish MLF Invitationals, formerly known as, what is it formerly known as? I don't know. They changed it.
They changed it this past year. It was just the MLF Pro Circuit.
Yeah.
And then they
Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit.
And now
More FLW Tour is what it's been
Yeah,
known for a
exactly.
long, long
So-
time. He still fishes the Toyota series. I don't fish the Toyotas anymore, but yeah, we pretty much.
The only
fish
reason
MLF
I kind
Toyota.
of jumped in the Toyota series is the first one was on Grand Lake this year, and both Kyle and I really like Grand Lake. And I'm like, oh, and I heard the championship was on Table Rock. And I like Table Rock, and it's in the fall, it's in November, and I really want to make that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the reason I jumped into those.
Well, he almost. Or what place did you take in that? What is that tournament called? Johnny Morris.
Oh, the $1 million.
$1 million tournament. He was
yeah.
right there sniffing the
I
wind.
remember that.
Yeah.
You and Hoyer were fishing
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Middle of winter, hanging minnows, if I remember right.
Kind of
Yeah.
jig wraps and what
Walleye
else?
fishing.
Pretty much. Yeah,
That's
yeah
cool.
we were on live, and we both had our own active targets rolling. And I was in the back of the boat, he was in the front, and yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
And qualifying for that was actually even funner. It was out on Lake St. Clair,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and we ended up taking second in that one. And I think first was 50,000 or something, and
Okay.
and we actually should have won. I think Zona's kid or something got DQ'd or whatever.
I got you.
But yeah, so we took second then. We had like 23, 24 pounds.
Zona's kid got DQ'd?
Yeah, nothing's been talked about it. So
Care to
I
elaborate
don't
on
know.
that?
I really don't know the truth on all that. So
Stir
we
the
did.
crock pot quick?
We
No?
kind of just took our second place and knew we made it to the championship,
Yep.
and we were good with that. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
I think St. Clair is supposedly on the MLF Invitational schedule next year.
Ooh, I didn't even hear that.
So
It seems like a
Buckle
super
up.
fun lake, but a super challenging
It can
lake,
be.
just because there's no,
Yeah.
it's featureless, kind of.
It is, but it isn't. Like we didn't even go into it with a lot of practice. I think we fished a day and a half, and we didn't even barely fish. We drove around and just marked weeds and fish, and we're like, oh, we know how to catch them.
Yeah.
Drop shot and a accent and
you looking for bait or fish or
everything,
structure? Or
a
what are
little
you
bit of
looking for?
everything. Yeah, it's pretty featureless, but there's more to it than you think there is too, though.
There's like sandgrass. Like
It's a lot of sandgrass.
Yep.
There's like some clumps of stuff, and then if you want to catch a largemouth in there too, like I think it was Andy Morgan who whacked them out
Imagine
there.
that.
You know, we never looked for any largemouth just because smallmouth was kind of our game, and
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't be afraid to go largemouth fishing out there though for
Really?
sure. Yeah,
I have
At least for a-
zero experience out there. That's probably where I'll.
at least for a kicker or
110
two or whatever.
well, that sandgrass stuff is, it's not like what people would typically look for on their side scan when they're smallmouth fishing. So it's something I've learned that they do use grass. They don't just use
Right.
rock. They don't just use sand. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
even just. They don't even use structure sometimes. St. Clair's super pelagic that way.
Yeah.
And that sandgrass, was there something like that you looked for in particular when you're looking at sandgrass?
Yeah, we were kind of just looking for the bigger clumps of stuff.
Gotcha.
Like I got a little experience with sandgrass fishing like walleyes on Leech Lake and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty featureless, but there's a little more to it than a guy thinks, like bait
Taller or something like that?
a little bit taller, some would be thicker, and the bait fish will be on certain areas of it, and
Sure.
so that's kind of what we look for out there.
Yeah. One little trick I learned fishing sandgrass, because it's tough to get your bait through it unless you're doing a drop shot or some sort of deal. That's actually a time I'll like, if I'm throwing anything that's going to touch bottom, I'll actually throw out and drag to the sandgrass versus like a weed line where you throw in the grass and pull away.
out.
Right.
I mean, that's the only little sandgrass trick I've got, but I think the perch use it a lot. Like the shad probably use it. The stuff smells like bad.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they use it.
I have no experience with it at all. Nothing. I have nothing to bring to the table in this one.
You'd be
All I know
dangling
is they
largemouth with Andy Morgan, and Minke and I both know it.
You could catch them on docks in there too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But they get big smallies cranking there.
Certain times of the year.
I will too.
I tried.
Fall.
Trust me. Like I tried everything. Like I was in the back of the boat. I had 20 rods laid out. I had a spoon, crankbaits. I caught fish, but they weren't the right
Giants,
ones. Like we caught like 3.5s, occasional 4, but it seemed like you had to be looking at them. I figured out something later in the day. Like in the afternoons, they would bite a Ned rig. Like I had a little heavier, quarter. Yeah, quarter. I'd throw
That is pretty
on a
heavy.
net, like a Gussie Ned rig or whatever. He kind of came out with that or whatever. Yeah. And I was launching that thing because I didn't have an active target. I did, but I wasn't utilizing it. In the afternoons, I could launch that thing, and I was ripping it through that sandgrass like pretty hard, and they would eat it like really good.
Cool.
But only in the afternoons. They wouldn't bite it in the morning.
Huh.
Yeah.
Man, St. Clair is such a current. There's a lot of current that runs around in that lake, and if you can figure out the current, I feel like that's probably the other part that positions.
Oh yeah,
those
for
fish,
sure.
but
Yeah.
you're looking at like a 6-inch drop off,
It's not much.
Tall sandgrass, little, sweet beaver tall sandgrass edge,
Right.
Just the little goodies.
No, it's not much, but
You haven't fished St. Clair?
No, I have no experience on St. Clair. I mean, honestly, anything north and east, I have no national experience at all. Never fished in New York, and never been to St. Lawrence, never done any of that. I mean, which is crazy because you think as a Minnesotan guy, that's where you would be drawn to. And believe me, it's not that I'm not. I don't know. All the stuff I fished is Florida, Georgia, Alabama, like Oklahoma, Missouri. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't been over there yet, but I just haven't.
Well, it blows my mind that you boys like Grand Lake because even the boys down south don't seem to like Grand Lake.
Dude, Grand Lake is tits.
And
Grand Lake is pretty fun.
I want to hear why you guys think that because honestly, the guys I talk to down south, they'll say praises about Table Rock. Mm-hmm. They'll say praises about this lake, that lake. But if you mention Grand Lake or with some guys Lake of the Ozarks, they're like,
Yeah, I think Grand Lake is very streaky. Like, I mean, I think you can be there 1 week and it'll take 15 pounds to win. You could come back a week later and it's like 24 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that. Especially during the spawn.
Sure.
I mean, it'll just fire and whatever.
I mean, we've never been there. We've always been there pre-spawn, spawn. I've never been there in the summer, so my mind might change if we went back there.
That's a huge thing to say too. Like we've been there at ideal times of the year. Like the best time you could go there during the spawn.
Sure.
Big fat females on brush and certain type of rock
and when I caught them there last year. It was in the spring, April. They're spawning. The water's dirty. There was some guys running down to the dam and looking at them, which I love to do. I love to look at them.
Yep.
And I had just found a stretch. Well, I had 2 different patterns going on. I think my primary pattern, you were doing about the same thing.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, on day 1, it did not go down. Ended up running this other stretch where I had, a dozen bites or so. Turns out it was essentially the winning stretch of the whole entire lake. I mean, it just was. It was I think I could go 1.2 miles without picking my trolling motor up and just catch fish at will the whole entire time, just nonstop. I don't know what was going on. And they're spawning because they're all beat up and bloody. They're biting really goofy. One would hammer it, you'd buckle it, it'd come off, you'd throw it back in there, it'd eat it again, come off, and then you'd catch it. And it was real goofy. So they're spawning.
Yeah.
But, so this is a weird thing that happened to me. On the final day, I went in there, caught a 5.5 pounder, like right away in the morning. Caught a couple other ones and was going into a pocket, had my limit. And what was the deal?
This story's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it's a weird one. That's a weird one.
It's super bizarre. So I go into the pocket. I get to the end of the pocket. And it's shallow. And it's like that nasty. Gran has like some like ploof type mud in the back of some of the pockets.
Yeah.
Ploof?
Well, I don't know what it is. I mean, it just
It's a ploof type mud.
looks like shit.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, does
Just
that-
black, real
Ugly,
black.
It's
Like,
gross, like so.
Yep.
We go in the back. I call. All the fish are perfect, and the water's like 63 degrees. I mean, fish are golden in that temp. You know,
They're banging.
Yeah. So I'm like, heck yeah, I already got a good bag. We come out of the pocket, and I shut my wells off when I was in the back of the pocket to cull. I come out like 40 yards out, 50 yards out, and I lose like a 3.5 pounder. Essentially, that's like the winning bass right there.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loses bass, so I'm not making
For sure.
experience. I'm not making, an exception, but I mean,
Fucking
everybody
excuses,
loses them.
I swear to God.
Yeah. But I come out of there like another 150 yards, so like 15 minutes go by. I catch one. I go to cull, open my live well. Every bass are like 3 of the biggest bass are like freaking stone dead. I'm like, what the F is going on?
Dude.
So essentially, had I caught that 3.5, I would have looked to see that they're not doing good and did something and gave them some more attention. The other 2 smaller ones, they revived, but the other 3 didn't. I had to take 3 dead fish penalties, which cost me a guaranteed second. So I had to wait to take second.
Like a pound and a half or something.
Something like that. I think it was
Pound.
3/4 of a pound.
Okay.
So 4 ounces a piece or something like that. And then had I caught that 3.5, that would have called like a 2.5, and that was the winning fish right there. That was the win, But like I say, everybody's had. If you fish enough tournaments, you're gonna lose the winning fish like 100 times. You know what I
Figure
mean?
it happens the 5 guys a tournament.
Yeah.
or
At
something,
least,
like.
That
But
Moral of the story,
that's
though.
not what happened. Like you're losing the fish is one thing.
Yeah.
Like that to me, is your typical shitty excuse. However,
Yeah.
this
Let me go
next
on about
part-
this. So I'm like just dumbfounded the whole day. Like how I just kept fishing. I'm like rattled. Like what the fuck just happened to these fish? How did they just die in the matter of no joke? Like probably about no less than 20 minutes.
Last day of the tournament, too.
Last day of the
Lot
tournament,
on
got
the
a
line.
good bag. I got a 5.5 in there. Thing stone dead in like under 20 minutes. It was perfectly fine when I looked at it. I'm like, I don't get it. So I go in. I talk to Casey Scanlon, a couple other dudes, and they're like, "Did you fish the back of a pocket?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I did." They go, was your live well running when you were in the back of the pocket? Well, yeah. Did you shut it off? I'm like, yeah, I did. How'd you know that? They go, if you suck that shit up into your live well, it will kill your whole bag in like under 10 minutes.
So the locals knew.
They knew
not
it
to
happened. It happened
do
to
that.
Scanlon, and like 2 other guys are like, "Yep, that's the same thing's happened to me. You have got to shut your live wells off in Grand Lake
Happened to
when
me
you
in
go like."
1997 when I was 16 years old, fishing my first derby here on Grand Lake.
I had a 12-pound bag.
Had
and
a
they all
12-pound
died.
sack.
All right.
Lost them.
Solid 40th place finish.
Lost them. Dude,
I don't know what to say about it. It was a learning experience. Chalk it up. Move on to the next one.
Exactly.
how the hell are you supposed to know? That's the thing.
You're not. I mean, you're
It
not.
sucks, though, dude. That's a kick in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah.
But then we moved on to Truman from that. Had a 4th on that one. That was the next one, and that's how I got 7th in the points. And
Yeah,
that
dude.
got me to the tour. I don't think it was too hard to get into the tour. 'Cause
No, I didn't like officially qualify for it, but got an invite for it. So
Yeah.
I was close, but not. Yeah.
You know, I think they took a bunch of money out of that tour, which definitely sucks. But I don't know. I'm happy I'm doing it. It's a good learning experience. I'm having fun. We've had a blast
is.
this year, honestly,
Yeah.
traveling together.
It has been fun for
Yeah,
sure.
it's been a good year.
Started in Florida.
Yeah. Where
Got
was
murdered.
that Florida one?
Got murdered, both of us. Oh
God,
my
we both
God.
were in the winning areas too. Like,
Isn't Florida weird?
Dude, it's
Florida's
so weird. And I actually have like a good amount of experience in Florida. I actually have like a legit good amount of experience. I've fished multiple
Fits your
Bass
style.
Opens down there.
Yep.
My wife Shelby, her parents have a place on the Harris chain. We go down there 3 times a year. I have like a decent amount of experience. Now, I never fished Okeechobee, which was where our first one was, but nonetheless, I mean, I went out with my buddy Rockamora, and he kind of, told me what I should look for and just kind of gave me some good tips and pointers, like way in the pre-practice. And sure enough, like during the tournament, found a badass area. I was around probably 15 dudes. I watched over 48 pounders or 7+ pounders get caught around my boat. I'm like, I caught 20 keepers a day. I'm like, it's gonna happen. We're about to pull on a big one any second. Never pulled on a big one. 2 days of fishing, never caught a big one. Just can't do that. Yeah, and you had similar experience.
I did. I think that one I caught in practice was a little over 8 pounds or something. Maybe almost 9. It was a big one. And
Yeah.
I was excited about this area too. And
Yeah.
sure enough, there was, a quarter of the field was in there. It was a big area, but
You two in different areas or the same
Yeah.
area?
did total
Different-
different,
total
opposite
different
ends of the
opposite ends
lakes.
of the lake.
Like
Yep.
it's pretty simple. Like
It's not that hard to find the
No.
winning area of the lake in Okeechobee. I mean, it's like
Look for the boats?
no, look for the
yeah,
clear.
look-
Look for the clear water.
Well, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
ask.
in the hard bottom. You
Man.
got to have the hard bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to be hard bottom.
Well, you have
And
so
then-
much wind that blows around there,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So your area, to your point, if you go, like you could go to your area one day, the water's clean, you're catching them, it's good, wind switches,
You're
that
screwed.
area's fucked,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
You're screwed.
Foil it and get the hell out of there. Go fish some new shit.
So you almost got a plan for like where
You
the
do.
clear water's going to be.
Planning, and then also like I had a couple of the areas I was fishing, they had protection to it. So even if the wind is gassing out of the south and you're on the north end, like
Yep.
Okeechobee works in kind of like layers. Like you have your what they call hard wall, which is the inside. That's as far as you can go. And then you kind of have your intermediate, which is where usually all the fish are. And then there's even like reeds and, hydrilla, hopefully, on the outside of that. And that will filter and protect all that water that's blown in there. So even,
like an
knowing,
onion.
oh, it
Onions
literally
have
is.
layers. Yeah, layers.
An onion with a bunch of mags living on the inside of it.
Well, it gets so much pressure, and then you have guides soaking shiners. And
Yeah.
that's from what I've heard, that's a pretty big factor, but
Yeah, I mean, like if you ever listen to Scott Martin, he's
Yeah, I was
always
gonna
like, just
say,
stay
tell the
away
story.
from them guys. Like those
Yeah.
fish don't bite.
right.
Artificial baits, just stay away from them.
It's like, how do
I
you
would
know
agree.
though? How do you know if the guy didn't soak shiners there the day before, and it's the best shiner soaking hole there is, and you happen to catch one?
True.
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
I don't have enough experience to know that.
I mean, try to get real finesse on them. Like I tried some of that stuff and it didn't work. Like it just didn't work.
And I knew they bite like a popping frog and a devil's horse there. Caught giants on it in practice, multiple over 6
On a prop
pounders.
bait?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that
dude.
sounds
And the bite is so
He
fucking
called me
legit.
super excited, like, "Oh my god, I figured it out!" I'm like, "Oh yes!" And I I didn't even have one tied on.
You're like, spill the juice.
Dude, it's so bizarre. You're fishing by like single cattails. You're throwing the worm, throwing this, whatever. Yeah, nothing's working. You pull that thing out. You're like, it lands there. You're like, pretty nice day out. What that? What is that? Oh, fuck! I got an 8 on. And you got to wait it out. It's cool though. But man, that bite is so cool. And they just barely get it. It's like,
Seems like Florida, you have to slow the fuck down.
You do.
Like that's the biggest
yeah,
thing.
I mean, it's kind of like a popper bite around here, like
Yep.
post spawn. Like it's nice and slow. Like
Let
if
her
you got the
soak.
patience, like you can catch some big ones doing it.
That's my style.
Yeah.
you like popper?
I like fishing slow.
Okay. We wouldn't be good team partners.
Exactly.
Which
Well, I respect that. That's what I think's so cool about like talking to you guys is like it's bass fishing, dude. It's a lot of ways to skin the cat, and Schutta happens to skin the cat a little faster,
Right.
than the rest of
Which
us.
is crazy because him and
can-
I are like opposites.
Yeah,
So
we are.
You're a slow guy? Yeah.
I'm a slow guy.
Yeah, if I can
I'm a
skin
deep
3
guy,
cats in a
you
day,
know?
I mean, why not?
Right.
We got Snoop Dogg and we got Twista.
Exactly.
Well, I think I want to give you guys all the credit because there's not a lot of people from Minnesota that go down south and compete with those guys and succeed at the level you guys have. So I honestly think that you guys are kind of like silent killers. You're not like, hey, look at my bass all the time. And you're very just, you let your rods do the talking. And I just have a lot of respect for that. And I guess it takes a lot of balls to go down south and swing the hammer or
Yeah.
try to. And you guys have seemed to figure it out how to continue to keep doing it. And you guys have both had really good success. So I want to know, I think there's a little bit of wife action to this mix and then just a little bit of learning like a southern fishery. That's something I think everybody can benefit from.
Right.
like, was it a hard go at the beginning? Did you guys have to go pay a lot of tuition, so to speak, or did you guys find some success like early on down there?
Yeah. Savage compliment, by the way.
Thanks. I
Thank you,
appreciate it's very
but,
savage.
I mean,
Thank you.
you know, I will say, like, you know, I mean, any guy coming from Minnesota or from any state going national would probably agree when I got to say, I mean, it's a dang process, dude. I mean, it's just a process, and you got to stick with it. You got to see it through. You're going to have some shitty times. I mean, it's just how it is. You know, people don't remember the shitty times, but you do, you know, when you go through them. But it's just, you know, I think I started fishing the Bassmaster Opens in 2016. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I took a couple of years off, and you've been at it for about the same amount of time too. So I think, you know, it's a process. You got to go through it. It takes a long time to learn. It's kind of like, you know, like you probably could go to any lake in this state, and before you show up, you have a really good idea of what you're going to do. Like, you pretty much know, oh, I'm going to this lake, I'm going to throw these baits in that type of water, you know. And I feel like probably me and Minke are getting to that stage where it's like, oh, okay, we're going to, you know, Grand Lake in April. They're going to be on bed. We're going to do this and be confident with it.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a bit of a learning curve for us.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
for
we
sure.
still have our complications, obviously, and our wives are a big part of why we get to do this too. Like,
Yep. And the freedom of work, I will tell you that. So, you know, I do heating and air conditioning. I worked for a company for 11 years out of the Twin Cities, and they totally cockblocked my fishing. I mean, it was like, I couldn't do shit, you know, like, I mean, just think, you got 4 weeks vacation in a whole entire year. You cannot do a damn thing.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, you barely can fish a couple tournaments.
Right.
And so, you know, I was under that forever, you know, I mean, and then finally when I, you know, actually I had a blowout with that company and was like, I quit on the spot, walked out. It was
I think I helped you with that.
yeah,
to be
I
honest.
Carried
did.
his blue balls out.
No,
for
well,
him, or-
No, he
No,
pushed
we-
me out the door with them.
No, we both made the championship in the Toyota series. And
Yes.
Kyle was like, I
God,
gotta
that's right, I
work.
almost
I
forgot
can't
about
make it. And I go,
Fuck that.
fuck work.
Dude, literally.
I got my own. I started my own business about the same time, and like I was doing just fine. And
Yeah, and it's a
And
scary
whatnot.
thing. It's a damn scary thing. And I
it
was
really
like,
is.
you know, and yeah.
But I
we
went
did-
through that, and I tried to help Kyle through it because
Yep.
I know he's a hard worker. I knew he could get through it, and look where he is now. He's
Yeah.
just loving life. And
But yeah, that was the turning point. Championship, Gunnersville. I was like, so how ridiculous this is, right? I told them, I'm like, I just need 2 days off. I'll take it unpaid, and I'll work 3 straight weekends. And they're like, nope. Like, it's like, you get double time on the weekends. That's a stupid business move for an
Yeah.
owner of a company, right?
Yeah,
They said no, and I was like, and there was a bunch of other stuff too, and I was like, fuck it. I'm quitting. I'm going to Gunnersville. I will be leaving here on Wednesday. That's it. And they're like, well, and I literally, I was like, I'm done with heating in there. I'm fucking out of this trade. I'll do something else. I'll work at Walmart, dude. I ain't doing this no more. And you know, like, it's weird how shit works out. A week goes by, somebody calls, they need a furnace. You go do it on the side, and you make as much money in 1 week as you did working for a week for them. And you're like, shit, I don't know why I'm fighting this. And he was on his own doing plumbing. And I'm like, yeah. And so, I don't know, just kind of rolled into it like that. And that makes a huge difference, man. Time on the water, anybody will tell you, time on the water is
for
absolutely bar none. There's nothing that compares to time on the water.
I think the big thing to me that I got out of that, I mean, I felt this myself. I think a lot of people have a tough time betting on themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And taking that plunge into the unknown. You got this cushy job with, you know, a couple of benefits. You got your health insurance. You got your retirement plan. They match it up to 6%.
Paid
Get
vacation.
you some
Get
of that.
paid.
yeah, get paid.
Paid vacation, 2 weeks, and then you'll get 4 once you work for us for 4 years.
73 years.
73
2
years. I'll
months.
give you 2 extra weeks. So I take it, sounds like he was the old bull and you're the young calf when it came to this. So,
I just went through the same experience he did. Like I was a plumber. I started very young. I was 15 when I started doing plumbing. That was just in the summers between high school or whatever. And I would frame houses during high school. Like I'd skip school all the time to go set trusses and like do stuff like that, you know, because I was decent at school, whatever, had decent grades. And
mediocre.
Just yeah.
Just kidding.
You're a smart kid.
So
Like, you
I
didn't-
I worked a bunch during school. Like we framed houses and then I did plumbing during the summers and made good money. And I was like, well, this plumbing thing seems like a good idea. So I just stuck with that company out of high school and kind of just got sick of my boss. And same deal, like he wouldn't really let me go fishing and whatnot. And I'm like I could do this on my own, and just finally just did it and got my master's license, which is tough to do. And yeah, it's been great ever since. I work alone. I don't have any employees or nothing. My wife helps me out a bunch, and it goes good.
So, like, for somebody who's listening who's maybe, like, you know, sick of their job, wants to start, like, their own gig, what's some advice you would give them on, like, how to do that correctly? Because I think a lot of people want to do something like that. They just maybe don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like, if a business like mine, like, get the right licenses, be ready for what you're prepared for. Like, it's not just about the work. Like, my phone rings nonstop, just like Kyle's does. Calls all the time, dealing with people. I mean, it's you know, it's not the funnest thing. I'd rather just do the work and not like the business side of it, like the phone calls and the emails and the pulling permits and all that stuff. But my wife helps me with that a bunch. And
Thank you, Jenna.
so yes, so having a partner that is behind you is huge. So
It is. Yeah. So shout out to my wife, Shelby. Literally does I feel bad because she gets this stigma all the time. People are like, "Oh, your company's so great. You did great." And it's like, dude, my wife does half, if not more, of the shit that we have to do. You haven't. Yeah. So me as a person, I can run a depth finder like an absolute OG. Can't send an email to save my life. I don't know how to be on a computer.
Thank you.
People literally are like, "Do you have metal in your body?" You walked close to my computer and it froze up. I'm like, yeah, don't have that thing by me. I mean, he knows all about it.
Don't give that guy an X-ray over there.
No.
Right?
Yeah. So
Not the brightest bulb when it comes to that?
No.
You
terrible.
update the software on your graph?
Nathan does it.
Nathan. Yeah. I just hook mine to the Wi-Fi at the house and it automatically does it.
Nathan, hey, help me out.
He is the encyclopedia of Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
I will say, while we're on the working topic, though, dude, any young bucks out there listening, I don't take away from working for a company. There's great companies that you can work for.
Yes.
And I will say, going into a trade, especially now, because we are losing tradesmen.
Yeah.
Dude, it is. I recommend it. I recommend it, man. There's so much money in it. I mean, there's so much opportunity.
Yeah.
And, if you want to work for somebody, cool. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Is it great owning your own company? Yeah, sometimes it sucks. Like he said, dude, I'm on the phone constantly. I mean, I'm down there on an MLF tournament, and like we just came back from Lake of the Ozarks. One day I had like 15 phone calls in one day during practice.
Where was Shelby on that?
Dude, I know.
Shelby, what the heck?
Where is she? No. I
just Derby to win.
I prefer being on the phone when it comes to that stuff and just overseeing that. But,
for sure.
Shelby. It's a lot of work. I mean, there's times when it's...
Hey guys, Gaff with Waypoint English Supply here. Just wanted to highlight the fact that we have the big bass resource right here. Obviously, everybody in Minnesota knows about Kitex and the littler swim baits like these bait labs here. But we're here to have the big baits here in the store. We got Huddlestons. We've got the dangerous swim baits, the jointed claw glide baits, and the bull shooter glide baits. But it's not only the baits. We've got big rods, big reels, big line, and all that good stuff for you guys to go ahead and chase your biggest fish of your life. So swing on into Waypoint English Supply and get hooked up with the biggest tackle around.
This episode is brought to you by just north of Memphis Barbecue. This is World Champion Barbecue. If you smoke meat and you don't like good barbecue, I do not know what to tell you right now besides you need to try some of this stuff. They've got their rub. They've got their sauces right on their website. They've got their famous dry rub award-winning seasoning that you could put on ribs, brisket, pulled pork, chicken, wings, anything you like to put on the smoker, on the oven, on the grill, any meat you like to cook, you need some of this dry rub seasoning in your life. But don't forget the sauce, because that's award-winning world champion sauce here. No matter what flavor you like, they've got 3 different sauces, and they are all good. You can drink them straight out the bottle. We've got Sweet Christie's for all you sweet-loving barbecue folk. We've got Christie's Mischief for all you spicy bass anglers out there. And then we've got Christie's Gold. And they'll sell all three of them in a combo. But you need to go to their website right now. It's jnomemphis.com. That's jnomemphis.com. Dry rub, sauce, barbecue. Let's go! Are you ready to reel in your next home purchase or refinance? Supreme Lending's Dream Team can help guide you through the entire mortgage process, from pre-qualification to closing. They have a wide variety of home loan programs in their tackle box, including down payment assistance and first-time home buyer options. Just ask me. I trusted Aaron Dagas, a bass fisherman just like you and me, and Supreme Lending's Dream Team to help finance my first home. Contact Aaron Dagas and the Dream Team today by scanning the QR code or giving them a call at 763-326-0677. That's 763-326-0677. Did I catch a 7 in there? Or visit their website, aarondages.supremelending.com. That's AARONDAEGES.supremelending.com.
Sucks, but it is rewarding though. Like you put in that hard work and see it pay off. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling.
There's not a wrong way to go about it, is what I'm saying.
Well, you guys both started working for somebody, and you learned the trades you guys did from that. So there's definitely something to be said about that.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
If you have a boss who, cares about you and, wants to make sure they support your fishing,
Right.
that's maybe a real good spot to be, especially with that 401k match and health benefits. Ooh, yeah,
Sweet.
buddy.
So sweet.
Get you some of that.
Well, like Kyle was saying with the whole the starting out of a young kid and working, and like we set ourselves up before we started fishing. Like a bunch of our stuff was paid off. Like we could take that chance, like not be afraid to lose to lose in that tournament or
Great
not
point.
make a check or.
I always said I'd like to make it before I make it. That was my saying. I've said that for years, and I still feel like that. I just, that doesn't work for everybody. I mean, there's dudes that come out of the gate and they make. I mean, look at Fighter. He made it, at a pretty young age too, which is great. But for me to be mentally good up here to know, hey, if I go and enter this amount of money in a tournament and get my teeth knocked down my throat, I'll be okay with that. I'll be able to go home and I'm not going to worry about it.
Right. So what you guys are trying to say is, like, for anybody who's trying to fish professionally, make sure you go into as much credit card debt as possible.
Yes.
Quit your job.
Have rich
Don't have a
parents.
backup plan. Have rich parents. Roll your dice, and someone will take care of it. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Build back better.
It's a dog eat dog world. These boys will take those kids' lunch money because they're gonna be here for multiple years. And you guys, because you set yourself up that way, you've allowed yourselves to compete at that level. Not just for a year and then go bankrupt and say, oh, well, shit, I tried. I mean, you guys have allowed yourselves to learn the process, allowed yourselves to really hone in down south. And to me, I hope people are taking notes, because that, to me, is what the ultimate dream is. You guys are living it. And, I mean, you guys just got back. Where was your last tournament?
Lake
Lake
the
of
Ozarks.
Laws.
Lows.
Is that what they call it?
Laws.
Laws?
I don't know.
Laws. That place, I mean, you've got a Netflix hit that's based on
Oh
Ozark.
we were gonna go to that.
Marty Birds.
Marty Birds,
Bird's
Our
house?
neighbor at the campground was like, you got to go to Marty Birds tonight. I'm sure it's hopping.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just ruin it for everybody and let people back at home know that show is actually filmed on Lake Sidney, Lanier, in Georgia.
Fuckers.
I know, because the taxes are better there.
Oh, that's fucking, oh, gosh. That's the best part about it.
I know, but Lake of the Ozarks is sweet.
It is.
I mean,
It's a cool
actually, that place has not been kind to me and you. We've been there multiple times and freaking come close to cutting checks like multiple times. So
I heard they win shit on glide baits on that lake.
Yeah. Depend
sure
on the
they
day.
do.
A lot of top waters
We
too.
were
Depending
there
on the time of year.
The last couple times we were there for Toyota Series, there was like ice on the lake in the morning. Didn't thaw out till 10.
That. Yep.
And we were throwing an A. If you weren't throwing an A rig at a brush pile, you're asking to get last place.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I wasn't that dialed at throwing a A-rig on a brush pile. I actually wish I couldn't throw an A-rig. I hate the things. Like
I hate them too.
I don't like them. But
There's a little more to them than I think people
for
think.
sure.
And in terms of, do you use blades? What size heads do you use? What color swim baits do you put on? What size swim baits do you put on? Do you put a big one in the middle? Do you put a chartreuse one in the middle? Do you use gold blades? Do you use silver blades? Do you use a hog farmer? Do you use a... Spill the beans, Schutta.
There's a lot.
What's the deal?
Dude, I'll be honest, you're going to hate this info. I pretty much just keep it simple. I feel like it's more about where you're throwing it and how you're reeling it across whatever you're throwing it at.
That makes sense.
You know, I just buy the, what is it, Yum Flash Mob Junior, the cheap Walmart rig, whatever. I cut off some of the snaps and all that and put on some beefier swivels, and I do use that, I think, what is the one I use? Dirty Jigs,
the Guppy.
Matt Allen Finesse.
Guppy head, I think
Guppy
it is.
head. It's like the Smeltnator copy.
Yep.
Cat.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe
That's
it
what
is.
it is.
Yep.
Little jig.
Dirty Jigs makes it anyway. I mean, and not that that's really any good info. I don't really,
That's a
I
good
can't
jig.
give you any good tips about switching out this head.
No,
that.
that's great info.
I have literally experimented with stuff, and I can't tell you, oh my God, one time they were just choking the dyed brown one in the middle. Like, I literally don't have that info for you, but I can
not
tell
looking
you
for that.
when you reel it by the right piece of cover correctly.
I mean, I've seen a little more different stuff, but we legally can't throw them on the invitationals.
Oh, gotcha.
But you can in the Toyota series. So.
Yeah, so that's all of our experiences on the Toyota series.
Right. But like when I was at Grand this year, that's all you had to throw. Like they wouldn't eat a jerkbait, they wouldn't eat a jig, they wouldn't eat anything else. Yeah. I literally I could see the fish in the pile. You had to stay a certain ways back, or they'd know you're there.
100?
No, you can't cast 100, but you can cast, sometimes maybe 90, 85.
Yeah.
So if you keep that brush pile at like 60, 65 and cast over it, you had to touch the brush pile, touch it with the top of your A-rig, and let it drop down it, and keep reeling it, and that's when you get one to come out and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
Years.
Yeah. It probably years. Yeah. It took me a while. Like it did.
But
that tournament.
Yeah.
I figured that out in practice.
Sure.
But I actually didn't weigh a fishing on day one. It was so windy. We had like 4-footers blowing in on all my stuff. And I basically just scratched where I was fishing, and I went shallow and did this and that. My quangler ended up catching like 4 real nice ones, and I never caught one. So I kept my head up.
Yep.
Didn't get to go up on stage that day. Day 2, I went out, had a super cool quangler. The guy was awesome. We talked the whole day. And that's what's cool about the Toyota series. You get quanglers, and you got like friends for life. You meet all these cool different people and whatnot. But
good and bad.
Yeah.
I'll say. Good and bad.
And they catch 4 out of the back.
Well, no,
dude,
this guy was 75 years old, ripping darts and like, dude, he was awesome.
banging
Like
heaters.
he had 3 keepers.
I love those guys.
He had 3 keepers in a live well, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna call my wife. Is that okay? You're not supposed to use your phone." I'm
Call
like,
anybody you want.
I'm like, dude, do it. You gotta do it.
Tell
He's
nobody.
smoking a cig, and he's talking to his wife or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, just calling to let you know I'm okay," because it was real windy. Like it was really windy. Like they probably could have canceled that day, but I mean, whatever. And
Smoking my pro from the back of the boat. This guy doesn't know shit.
He didn't say that. Like he's a super humble old guy, dude. But I could hear him talking to his wife, and his wife didn't give a shit what he was saying. Like, did it? Like I don't know what the deal was, but so it's super funny. I was really happy for him.
Die? God,
He was
okay,
actually in
fine.
like 7th place after day 1. I think he ended up cashing a check, so he was super happy. And then, so I went into day 2, and just head on straight. Like I'm gonna catch him today. The wind changed. It was low. I knew where they were gonna be. And it wasn't until like 11 o'clock, and I finally got my first bite, and it was like a 5-pounder. I was like, oh, yeah, it's going to happen today. And just kept rotating piles and piles and piles. Well, until like 1 o'clock, I pull on this pile, and I see like 3 of them there, and I'm casting at them. Finally, this one comes out, and it's just doing circles on my A-rig. I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to come off, and it's still doing circles on it. I'm like, oh, my God, just take a breath. And Make another cast, and that one comes out and just smokes. It's like another 5-pounder. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to happen today. Make another cast, catch another one. It was like a 3-pounder. Make another cast, catch another one. It was like a 4-pounder. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. So then
in a miniature piece of brush too, right?
yeah, just like super small, like unbelievable.
Stick.
Yeah, it was barely anything in like 6 feet of water. Yeah.
I've heard that down there. They use like the tiniest shit sometimes.
Tiny, big, I don't know. It's random.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's random.
It's random as all hell.
It seemed like the bigger brush piles were a little deeper, like 12 to 15 to 20 or whatever. But it's like them shallower ones were like the deal. But they weren't on all of them, and then they'd pull up certain times of the day. It was so random. Like,
How many did you have marked? Like going?
oh,
into
I've
it?
probably over the years, I've probably a couple hundred for sure.
Right. But like your rotation, like
My
I know
ro-
Schutta can hit probably like 75 to 150 brush piles a day.
Yeah,
Me, like 15 maybe.
Yeah,
Dude,
I would say a good 40. I would say.
Don't get it twisted. This guy is like the brush pile active target king.
He's a brush pile wizard.
The dude, like, if they're on brush and that, I just call him. Are they doing it? Yes, they are. Okay. Like he is the man when it comes to that.
That
Like,
active
he
target
really good.
is pretty sick when
Jeez.
it comes to. Oh yeah.
How? So you run a ghost too?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see that Ashmore Marine Products came out with that little stick deal?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, I'm getting one.
Oh, you have to.
Okay.
The
How long-
arrows. I don't care how many times you
the arrow's
grease
a
it.
little off.
I don't care how many times you grease it. You need the arrow.
So I got the trailer park version of what you guys are talking about. I just took a big white zip tie and put it on there.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Works lit.
Smart. Until you rip down the lake and it blows the zip
Exactly.
tie just a quarter
Right.
turn off.
Yeah,
and
but that
all of a
Ashmore
sudden
thing turns
Schutta's
too, and
slicing
you-
these
No,
brush
it
piles.
doesn't. That
Dude.
Ashmore thing's pretty tight.
I had something
I'm
hood.
getting one.
You can't turn it very
Cheap too.
easy.
It's under $50.
Yeah, it's like 40, 45 bucks or something.
Well, if you're like me and you hit like 900 spots in a day, you're gonna pull your trolling motor up cockeyed and it's gonna hit your boat and the thing's gonna break off. And so I got a zip tie. It moves around.
The ghost is self-leveling, so
Yeah, when you
well,
pull it up,
it's-
it goes. Yeah.
yeah.
Depends on how fast you pull it up. No, dude, you're cut off. You can't have another beer.
That's my first.
You got to drive.
We're just getting
No,
started.
you are.
Dude, that's crazy though. And so like getting into fishing style a little bit. Schutta, I gotta give you some props. And I haven't seen Minke fish, and from the sounds of it, I'm lucky because he's pretty damn good.
He's
But
dialed.
I've watched you fish, and it's kind of like watching like my squirrels in the backyard.
Oh my God, that's
it's
perfect.
Good analogy.
Like,
Yes.
It's like looking at your squirrels in the backyard. They're hopping around.
Like a red squirrel too, not just a gray or a.
Chew on some nuts
Yeah.
quick.
It's a
Go to
red
this
squirrel.
tree. Go to that tree. Recheck this tree. Make sure there's no,
Bury that nut over
make
there.
sure they got all nuts in the tree or whatever they put them. Dude, how did you develop? Like, so you're a power fisherman. You fish extremely fast yet efficient.
Yes.
And you're not that smart yet. It's kind of like a numbers game for you.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
How'd you develop that style, and how has that evolved over time? Like, because you're like KVD, dude.
I am definitely not like
Minus
KVD,
like a hard
dude.
bait. Minus like a hard bait in your hand.
No, he
like,
he
no,
casts like him.
I'm
That's
all
for sure.
about
He's,
it.
Oh,
he's
he's
a
a-
freaking skipper.
a squirrel like
Yeah.
KVD. Yeah.
I think, God, how do I sum that up, actually? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that really developed. I mean, my tournament partner from, for a long time is Chris Amiot. Me and him fish together extremely well. He likes to fish like that, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always like, sometimes this bites me and sometimes it's good.
Right.
There's always greener grass somewhere. I'm always like, man, I could catch another one if I do that over there, this or that. Now, sometimes that's my Achilles heel.
Yep.
But a lot of time it pays off. And
Right.
I'm just a firm believer, like, if they're on docks, I want to fish every dock in the lake. I don't want to just fish the 5 best ones. I want to fish every one of them. And, I don't know. I guess the biggest thing that I can relate it to is just is the word versatile, being versatile, you know?
Yes.
And I do personally feel comfortable from 1 foot to 30 and doing every kind of technique.
Notice that.
I don't typically like spinning rods and drop shots, and I
Also
talk
notice
shit on
that.
that stuff. I definitely throw some shade when it comes to that, but
Fuck drop shots.
we just came from Lake of the Ozarks. I cut a check there, took 28th, and I caught almost every fish on a spinning rod. So I don't get it twisted. I like to throw a spinning rod. I know how to do it. I just don't if I can shy away from that, I will, and if I can fish fast, I will. But I do know there's some times when you get around the fish, you absolutely have to slow down. You cannot. You will fish right over the winning fish. I mean, and I've actually probably made that mistake many times. You know.
So I think that's super interesting because like the mentors who taught me how to bass fish are pretty slow, methodical fishermen, and I evolved into that maybe style more, and I've started to develop like power fishing more as I've grown up. Like for you, developing power fishing, was there like a dude you learned that from, like that kind of honed that styling? Because I know you like were in the Junior Bassmasters with like Seth Fighter, Bankston, and like you came up with those guys at kind of a similar time.
Yeah, the Silverado. So, did they call it Silverado back then? Silverado, and then it turned into Minnesota something.
Oh, it was the Silverados.
Yeah.
And then it was something else before the Silverados. And then it was the Silverados for a while.
And then it changed.
Minnesota Pro-Am or something.
Minnesota Pro-Am. That's the word I was looking
Minnesota
for.
State Lottery.
So yeah, I fished that. We got sponsored to fish it as junior coes. That was like, I mean, what a sweet ass deal. Like, and I had it the same year as Fighter. We must be like the same age or something because we both did it.
I think
the same 2 years.
Yep.
And what an awesome deal. Like, you don't have to pay for entry fees. You get to fish it. And, you know, I got into that because my uncle, Scott Schutta, you know, he fished bass tournaments back in the 90s, lived close to Tonka, and like had a second in the Silverado on Tonka. And like, I pretty much learned everything I knew at that point from him. He taught me like almost everything. But believe it or not, I was a fairy wand king back then. Like, all I did was throw a spinning rod.
Skipping Senkos, baby.
Dude, wacky worms and shit, just tearing it apart, you know. So, no, that was me back as a youngster. But, you know, how I developed power fishing and all that, man, I don't even know. You just kind of, I definitely feel like I'm one of them guys where it's like, oh, I never fished a square bill before. I'm going to try that. And then after like a couple times using it, oh, I totally have confidence in this and do it. You know, I think it's one thing if, you know, you've caught some fish doing something, but if you have a lot of confidence doing something, that's key.
I
agree. If you have that bait in your hand, you're like, I know I'm about to get a bite on this. It's just perfect. If you feel that deep down in your loins, like it's just gonna happen. You know what I mean? And I think that's my thing is like, I've just took the time because I'm old enough that, you know, I've taken my time with each bait and got very familiar with it. And so I feel comfortable. I mean, like in the Champs Tour where every fish counts, you know, my thing is like, I don't know, I'll run in, fish this dock, hit this weed line, cast this rock point, you know, fish these smallmouth over here, and then go back to this dock over here, you know.
In less than an hour.
Less than 20 minutes.
More like 10 minutes.
Well, that's what's great. To me, I'm like, less than an hour. You're like, shit, you did that in 10 minutes, son.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes that's bad, you know, sometimes that hurts me, but that's just my style. I just like to do that. I like to keep moving.
And my style is Schutta just caught 2 here. I bet I can catch maybe I bet he left me one.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lazy bastard.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
A stingy motherfucker. That didn't
Lazy
bite.
bastard. But it takes me probably 15 minutes to catch that one, and you caught 2 in 7, you know? And so like, was that the Schutta way? It sounds like this Schutta style is somewhat past. Like, it was Bob Schutta, you said?
Scott
Schutta.
Yep, my uncle Scott.
Like, what was the Scott Schutta style like that was passed down? Was it wacky worming?
He's pretty much OG, kind of, you know, well-rounded for the 90s. He loved to throw a sea rig, but he loved to skip docks with a wacky, and he was a jig dude. But, you know, yeah, I guess he was pretty well-rounded because he liked to throw blade and crank and all that stuff. So he was fairly well-rounded, honestly.
Sure. He liked Nirvana, but he'd also play TLC too.
Yeah,
There you go.
he did what it took.
90s shit.
You know, versatile.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That's awesome.
Well, so it sounds like that's the Schutta way, and you just continue to evolve it.
I guess so.
And if you heard the name Minke, you maybe would think of walleye fishing. So getting over to you a little bit, I know the Minke name is kind of like a household name in the walleye world.
For sure.
Is that where you come from?
Yeah, definitely. My brother, Dusty, he fishes the NWT. So, yeah, I grew up and he was a guide on Lake of the Woods like every summer in high school.
Sure.
So we'd go up there and spend a week during the summers, family vacation, and he was a fishing guide up there, and he was super dialed back in the day when there was no GPS and all that stuff, and we'd be ripping across the lake in his Lund Alaskan tiller 90 horse Yamaha 4-stroke, just a badass boat, non-breakable, especially
Try
on
that
a
Lund
rock.
Alaskan there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Gussie'd be proud of me on that one.
Hell yeah, he would.
So we're dipping across the lake, and all of a sudden he just tosses out a marker buoy out in the middle of the lake, and I'm like, what do we got going on here? He's like, oh, you just laying up these trees in this point, and like, that's the reef. The marker buoy's right on top of it. He's like, guaranteed. I'm like, no. We turn around, sure enough, got the 2D sonar, and it comes up to 15-foot hump right in the middle of the lake. Like,
Okay, Lake of the Woods is not
Oh,
a
it's
small
huge.
lake.
It's huge.
So this
It's
is talking
unbelievable.
like out in the middle?
oh yeah, out in the middle, anywhere.
He's lining up trees out in the middle of
Yep.
the Lake of the Woods.
Mhm.
How do you get there? Like,
All these older guides that guided up there for years taught him all this stuff.
will they get binoculars out
No,
and say, like,
no,
next to
it's-
the birch tree?
It's
right of the
that
oak
pine tree with that point and then that tree, and it's like all comes together at once, and you're looking like this, and he just tosses a buoy, and it's like
old Ojibwe trick.
almost every time lands right on top of the hump. Like, couldn't
No
believe
shit.
it. Turn around, grab your jigs and minnows or whatever you're using, and just start whacking them. That's crazy. So yeah, he guided, and then he decided to kind of jump into the walleye fishing tournament world, and I think back then it was the FLW. There was like a tour and then one below it,
Okay.
and he started with the one below it, and there were still pros and cos and whatever else, and I want to say it was the first tournament he fished was like Mille Lacs, and he won it, and he was just like completely addicted.
Early
after that,
2000s
like,
or something.
Sure.
Oh man, that would have. Yeah, probably, no, it would have been like probably 2006ish, probably
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
5, because I think I graduated in 02. So yeah, probably around 06 or something. So I'm looking up to my brother. He's fishing, all the time,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I grew up and then I started walleye fishing tournaments with my dad and with him randomly and whatever else I could get into, and
Sure.
I think I bought a boat. I think I bought one of my dad's boats. It was a Lund tiller, and walleye fished out of that thing all the time. And then I lived in like Chisago. We grew up in Forest Lake, and I lived in Chisago for a while. And there's all them awesome bass lakes around there. And I started dipping into the bass world a little bit. And then our good buddy Dave Sickinator,
Yeah.
he's been fishing tournaments for a long
Stickman.
time, and
He's a good dude.
I give him a ton of credit for teaching me how to bass fish and the patterns and stuff to do, and just caught on quickly through him because he's he's dang good at what he does. And
Just want a truck and a boat.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, in the
Right.
Silverado.
Damn, dude.
So
As
I
a co.
I think
That's
that
sick.
right.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. Well, he's got the YouTube videos up, I think,
Yep.
of the
Yep.
old
Yep.
Silverado
He's
days.
the one who posts all the old
That shit's
old
badass.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stickinator, we call him Stickinator.
Stickinator.
The man,
Stickman.
the myth, the stick.
Yeah.
I should, when I have Whiting on, since he was too pussy to come out tonight,
Definitely pussy.
maybe him and Sickinator could do one.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So he got you into bassing, and now, what, you had a tiller boat, and then you traded it for
Well, I had a tiller, and then I bought one of Gussie's old boats. It was a Lund Predator.
Yep.
I think that had a 225.
The Kruger Farm one.
Yep.
Yep, I remember that.
And I did
Just
some.
beat to piss.
I did some work for Kruger Farms and guided for them a bit or whatever. So I kept that boat for a few years. Then I bought a Ranger bass boat and started fishing the Toyota series. I actually started with the Northern Division, and that was like
Oh yeah.
Thousand Islands, Potomac, Champlain.
You did pretty good out there too.
The first
You
year,
and Stickinator fished it.
yep, the first year they would take, I think, the top 40 to make the championship. I made it the first year, and we went to, was that Gunnersville? I can't remember. Probably didn't do good, I'm sure, but yeah, it was pretty cool qualifying at least my first year, and then did the Northerns again the next year. I think I qualified that year. I might have missed 1 year in between there, but
You know that doesn't like happen to people, right? From up here.
well-
Like, that doesn't like typically happen to most people. But you're a Minke, so it is.
I do give credit to a little walleye background, like finesse fishing a bit, and light line and spinning rods, and like Kyle will brag to me when he's got like 6 spinning rods in his boat. Normally he's got like 2. He'd be like, "Hey, check this out! I got 6 in my locker." He's like, "They're all rigged and ready."
Don't
I'm like,
own
yes.
6 spinning rods for the record, but I got 4.
I got like 15 of them.
I did want to get into that a little bit because you've seen like guys like Mark Courts come over to the
Yep,
bass
yep.
side. You come over to the bass side. You maybe brought Hoyer over a little
A
bit.
little, yeah. I mean, him and I spend a lot of time. We obviously walleye fished a bunch, and we like fishing crappies and whatever else. And then, we started bass fishing a lot, and I might have got him addicted a little bit.
It's a little more fun than walleye fishing if you're like trolling planer boards.
Yeah, now
Falling asleep at
What's
like
the
8 o'clock.
thing they do with the steel where they don't even reel 'em in?
lead core and hand lining.
Hand lining.
Yeah.
That sounds like
I've actually
Winch it.
I've never done it. I don't think I could.
yeah,
If you
that's
had
like
maybe,
throwing 5 A-rigs at once.
if you had like a case of beer, I could probably handle it.
Oh, well, that's walleye fishing.
Walleye fishing's all about drinking.
Yeah.
To me.
Same.
But no,
Same.
with the
it's like
the,
ice fishing.
Yeah.
You know?
the whole forward-facing sonar game now, like you don't need a troll. I mean, maybe on some rivers and stuff and whatnot, but
Walleye fishing kind of evolved to be more bass style, like guys are
Right.
pitching jigging wraps off the old front deck.
Like,
now.
I got a
This dude
tournament
right here is a little old walleye
Got a
hammer.
ripping
Don't
rap
get
in
it.
my hand, and
I got a walleye tournament on Leech Lake coming up in a couple
You
weeks.
do
I'm looking
now,
forward
do
to
ya?
it. I'm actually fishing with Chris Gilman. You know who he is?
never heard of her.
Does he
biggest-
live by us?
biggest
Lives right
money-
by
Probably
us.
real good.
Biggest
Sorry, Chris.
money winner in walleye angling, still to this day.
Well, maybe I have heard
Yeah.
of her. My bad.
Super good guy. So
That's
I'm
cool.
excited. Usually I fish with my younger brother, and my dad fishes with my older brother, Dusty.
Yep.
But Corey is due to have a kid here beginning of June.
Corey's
so,
having it. Is he? He's
well,
identifying
his
now.
his wife Brittany, obviously. But so they're due
Corey.
to have a kid. So I'm a little upset he can't make it because we have a ton of fun together. And
Sure.
he's not a big fisherman. He's a bit more of a motorhead and wrenching
Right.
on stuff all the time. And but we have a good time together.
Well, what's up with the live bait deal with walleye tournaments? Because it seems like there's certain walleye tournaments where you can, drown a minnow, and then is there some where you can't drown a minnow?
You can on most of them. Like now it's so hard to get live bait, and you can't cross borders with it and stuff.
Gotcha.
Even states.
Like I heard
Minnesota,
this year,
Wisconsin.
It's all about your bait in the walleye world. How well do you keep your bait, right?
yeah, true.
Chubs. Get
Well,
your
like-
chubs.
So this year, apparently, it's going to be hard to find spot-tail shiners, and that's a huge thing for Leech Lake. Like, you
Yeah.
almost need them.
Gotcha.
Like, you almost need them. Like, there'll be, 3 times throughout, I figured this out the last few years, there's about 3 or 4 times throughout the day where I can catch them schooling fish on plastics or hard bait or something and moving it really quick. But the rest of the time of the day, you need a shiner and an 1/8 ounce jig. That's all they'll eat. Or a slip bobber and a leech or whatever.
Almost like there's 3 bite windows where they're
Yeah,
ready to
they'll
do their
get
shit.
super happy, and you can catch one every cast. And I'll tell my little brother in the back, I'll quick hand him a rod with a 1/4 or 3/8 ounce jig. I'm like, just cast it and rip it as hard as you can. Cast it and rip it, and he'll start whacking them because the fish just get active.
And then you kind of soak the minnow for the more depressed walleyes.
Well, yeah, you can tell now with the active target. You can tell. Now you can only get about 50, 60 feet from them.
Yep.
Before you could get 30, 40, super close. They didn't care. Now they're getting smart to the pinging.
Yep.
The sonar pinging.
Yep.
And so you can tell their moods. You cast right on top of them, and if none of them are interested at all, sometimes you just gotta let that jig fall down, hit the bottom, and just let it sit there, and they'll come suck it up off the bottom.
Bail open, bud.
Bail open. I just watch my line, use some yellow Power Pro, and watch my line go like this, and then set the hook.
You don't just wait and hook them in the ears.
No.
In the ears. Yeah. No, that's interesting. And I don't know why. I'm just not used to the live bait thing. And it's weird. Do you have to do you have to have live bait to win a walleye tournament typically?
Man,
Because I heard them flicker shads really catch
they
'em.
do, but when
What's that?
Number 7 flicker shad.
some
number
certain
7
lakes you
flicker shad.
definitely Mille Lacs, we won one last year, and you needed live bait. As
Gotcha.
much as we didn't want to do it. The year before, we almost won. Our teammates won. We're using all artificials, but this year or last year, you had to have leeches.
Huh.
It was crazy.
So you like find walleyes, and then you're like, they don't eat this fake shit.
Yep.
And then you're like, grab the leeches.
Grab the leeches, grab
It's
the
like
minnows.
Austin Powers. Get the bazooka.
Right.
Get the.
Yeah.
So the spot tails, you can't get those. They're like a.
That's just what I've heard this year. It's gonna be tough. Gonna be tough to find them.
I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to this, but like shiners at the bait store, those like you can get like shiners at the bait store. They got like
Well,
spot tail
looking at the wrong
shiners.
cat, I don't know.
You like golden. We have golden spot tails or regular shiners.
I mean, every lake's kind of different. But
Which would you like?
Mille Lacs, Leech, all of them got spot tail shiners in them. I mean, yeah, you can use a golden shiner. It's the size that matters, you know. Like,
See, I'd be glide baiting them motherfucking walleye with that 9-inch sucker, like musky rod, like glide baiting them walleyes in. Big old 9-inch sucker from Frankie's Marine.
There you go.
Whatever. Get you some of that.
you'd probably catch one big one throughout the day doing that. Yeah. One, maybe two.
Probably don't have the patience to do that.
Yeah,
I know.
it's like musky fishing.
So switching over to the bass, like Dustin Minke is one, like he's won a lot of shit on the walleye side.
Yeah, he's done pretty well. Yeah,
So you're like,
he's always right there in points. He's just a solid, consistent fisherman. Like he's done well.
And he's one of the nicest, most fun
Yo,
dudes you'll ever meet in your life.
My brother's
he's a
awesome.
nice guy.
Oh,
He
you got
is
it.
a
You got to meet
time,
him.
dude. That dude's a time.
My brother's awesome.
that
for sure.
sounds like, yeah. No.
Yeah, my whole family's pretty cool.
I think it'd be cool to get like you, him, and Hoyer or something.
Yeah,
over,
yeah,
like
for sure.
talk
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Too many alcohols already?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No ADD.
Oh, okay. I got that.
Mental
too.
health's a real thing,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So, but like getting to the bass side, was it the type of deal where your brother's just shining so bright where you had to like pave your own path? Like,
No, I think I just like bass fishing more. Like there's more
more fun.
opportunities in the state, you know, more opportunities everywhere else.
yeah.
Walleyes are kind of a bit constricted. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd maybe do the NWT one day. I don't know, just for have two boats, you know,
Sure.
whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I just like bass
I don't know,
fishing a
man.
little more.
Me too, dog. My grandpa was a walleye fisherman, and now I'm a bass fisherman. There's a reason for that. Schutta actually had a bass fishing uncle that took him bass fishing.
Yeah.
Oh, I did too, actually. My
got
uncle
a bass
Mike,
fishing
my
uncle?
uncle Mike Veerling.
Uncle Mike.
He's
Uncle Mike,
awesome.
shout out
dude.
to
He
him.
would take me, definitely a shout out to him. He would take me like 1 or 2 times a summer. And he'd be like, yeah, be to my house at 3-4 in the morning. We're going up to a lake by Mille Lacs or wherever, or on Mille Lacs, and I'd be there early. We needed to be at the ramp at dark, and I'm like, geez, dude, that's freaking early. But I was go getter, I was there on time every time, and we would whack them. Like, it was fun. We would get on these weed lines, and he taught me how to Texas rig a 7-inch worm, and it was unbelievable. We'd have like, each of us have 20, 30, 35 fish days, each of us.
Damn.
It was fun, and caught some big ones too. And I give a lot of credit to him for getting me addicted to bass fishing for sure.
I was like, damn, this is way better than trolling with Dusty for walleyes.
Yes, definitely.
Shit is dust.
It's dust.
Well, that's crazy, man. And so basically, you're spinning, pulling a drop shot on the outside of a weed line while he's, burning up a dock stretch at 100 miles an hour. Actually, no, he's probably zigzagging 2 dock stretches. He's
Right.
probably hitting one dock on this stretch, zigzagging over to the north side to make sure that, the sun angle's right over there, banging over on this isolated one with a lift on it. Is that kind of a good way to describe it?
Yeah.
And you guys...
I'd say it probably hurts me in practice a bit more doing the stuff I do. Where
Yeah.
if he just told me where he was catching me, I could just roll up there and finesse the crap out of him.
Probably gives you his 5th best spot or something. Probably not even. He probably needs that.
No, we've been pretty straight with each other, honestly. I mean, some people like to share info, some don't, and it does not work with some people, but it does. And the fact that I'm kind of, fast paced like I am, and he's a lot slower, more finessey. I think it's actually worked to our advantage this year.
for sure.
Sharing info, we definitely talk multiple times a day, and I think it's huge. I mean, you're traveling around the country. You don't know. I don't know shit about any of the lakes we went to. I mean, this year, Lake of the Ozarks is the only place I've ever even launched a boat on in all of the tournaments we're going to. I've never even launched a boat at any of the places. So, you go there and you think it's going to be one way, and then him who has a completely different outlook on something's like, dude, I'm smashing these spotted bass in 22 feet on rock piles.
These fuckers
like,
are killing spot-tail shiners right now in 45 feet of water. Yeah, just eating them. They've never seen a spot-tail shiner down here.
And I would give you some, but they're on low supply right now, so you can't have any of mine.
Apparently, they taste better than shad. Really good. Anyway, I found them, but we can't use these fucking spot tails tournament days. So get out here and throw a purple worm, and I'll throw a pink one.
Drag lead core.
The old lead core.
Yeah.
Well, you and Hoyer, that whole the reservoir thing. Reservoirs are intimidating as fuck when you first get to them.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the first reservoir you guys went to? The first big impoundment, man-made impoundment.
Mine was Bull Shoals.
Was it?
Bull Shoals?
I haven't been to Bull Shoals. Mine was probably Table Rock.
Table Rock?
Mm-hmm. I've been there probably 4 times now.
Tablecock and Bull Shoals are about the same thing.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was.
They're similar, I think. I've never been on Table Rock, but I've messed around a few times on Bull Shoals. But like the lake, you look at the lake, and it's like we're used to looking at Minnetonka or Mille Lacs and like, oh my god, right? And those lakes are like completely different.
And every state has its own lakes that are completely different. But the thing that got me first was just the sheer size of these bodies of water. Like we're up here, we live in Minnesota. I mean, people listening, you think like Mille Lacs, Leech, Minnetonka for that, are big lakes. Well, these lakes are big. It's like, you think that's big? Go down to Table Rock or any of these lakes, Lake of the Ozarks or, Okeechobee. I mean, just the sheer size of that lake is insane. Yeah. On the other side of it, it's hard to break down, but I will say once you start fishing stuff like that and then you come back to Minnesota and you're fishing on whatever, like Tonka or something, you're like, this is a little mini puddle.
I suppose that kind of helps.
It helps a lot. So,
I can see that.
Breaking down stuff, I feel like myself, I've got 10 times faster at being able to break down. Like a lot of people would think, Gull's a big lake. To me, like, I don't know.
I don't think it's that big.
Cover that whole lake in like no time,
I fished every dock in 20 minutes.
Not quite.
Right.
Pretty close.
Well, the stuff changes so much down there too. Like, say it rains real heavy one night, Table Rock, the northern part will be all dirty. It's like, well, what do you do now? I was catching my fish out on a point in 15 feet of water.
Yep.
Now what do? Well, I go to the bank and crush them, or you got to make them changes like throughout the day.
And you're good at that. I think that this dude's known to blast them on day 2. Like, scrap everything, go out on day 2.
Go practicing.
And just
a Desert Indian on them.
That's how when I do my best.
I like Desert Indian shit.
I swear,
That's
when
cool.
I got like a game plan or a pattern, it's just like day 1 I always mess it up. It never works, and it's like day 2 I go out and switch it up and make something happen. And it seems to be, if I could just do that every day, I might actually be able to make a career out of it. But
you got to tell him he sucked. Like the day before day 1. You sucked yesterday.
Yeah, scrap your plan.
What are you going to do?
Right. Give me your waypoints, and then you go do something different.
I have to pay.
Okay.
I'm game.
So I think it's kind of cool. We each run 3 different boats. I just realized that just now.
Yeah.
Schutta's running. What are you running?
Okay, Miss CX21.
Phoenix.
I knew that. I sold it to you.
You did. Thanks for that, buddy.
Dude, anytime. 921
Pro XP.
Pro XP. Oh yeah, you went with the dual door and the latches.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm running a Vexus. So it's kind of like a nice little trifecta we got going on.
It is.
I mean, to me, those are 3 of the baddest brands around. I guess I'll start with Minke. What made you choose a Phoenix? I can think of a few things, but what ultimately?
What do you think? Go ahead.
Their drop dead's sexy, and There's a little contingency money
Yes.
as well.
Yes, the
A lot
contingency
of
had
contingency money.
a big part of my decision, and I'm glad that I did, because I love that boat. Like it's awesome. Like I've had some other brands and I mean, don't want to talk bad about them or anything, but
Yeah, Rangers are junk. I'm just kidding.
but no, that Phoenix it's really impressive. Like it takes some big water. Like I've been on some pretty nasty stuff, and I have in a bunch of different boats, and that thing is impressive for sure.
I would agree. I think that, I mean, they're built solid. That it's easy to keep the nose up and the big
Right.
stuff.
Exactly.
They're just kind of tried and true and do it right.
We put it to the test on Ufala, man.
Dude.
That second day,
It was sporty.
it was ripping.
Freaking
It
sporty,
was
dude.
I'm not a big judge of wave sizes, but there was all the 4-footers out there.
Yeah, maybe more than that.
And I passed like 4 boats, and I wasn't even in that big of a hurry. But I was doing like 28 with that thing trimmed up, and
And you know, every lake too is like different the way that it has waves.
I would agree.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
It's like you go to like the Great Lakes and you can ride out there no matter how windy
Yeah.
it is, it seems like at times, certain
they're
places.
spread out a
Yep.
bit more.
Yeah, you like Mille Lacs gets choppy.
Yep.
You'll get beat up a little bit, and that Eufaula was one of them flat, shallow, just knock your teeth out
Yeah.
type waves. And it was ripping like what, 20 some?
Yeah, at least. Dude, I think it was more like 30, 35.
Yeah.
It was blowing.
Well, if I was to pick a boat on one of those days, it would be between a Phoenix, a Vexus, and a Camus. Are you running a 21?
21.
Did you run a 20 previously?
Nope.
Just the big dog.
Just the big one.
What made you decide to go with Camus, and what do you like about it?
You know, I ran a Triton years ago. Loved the boat. Loved
Good
it.
riding boat. Yeah.
Great boat.
I love Triton
I got-
boats.
I-
Used to love Triton boats pre-Johnny Morris.
Yes, exactly. And the one I was running was like a freaking 2008 or something like that. But the boat was lit, right? It was a good boat.
Sounds
And
like
then,
an X3 or something.
That thing was fast, wasn't it?
dude, it was so fast. You know, it was legit. Everybody always stretches their boat speed, but it was legit 74 mile an hour boat loaded up with 2 dudes in it.
That sounds 08 Triton legit.
Yeah,
For sure. Oh,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And so after that, I ran 2 Legends, had an Alpha 211 and a
Remember that.
V20 in those boats. I fell in love with those boats, especially that V20. That thing was, I love that boat. Like, I wish that brand did not fold.
I thought it was a cool boat. I think Vexus actually kind of evolved the V20 a little bit.
Yeah.
With a little better hole shot and that sort of thing. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of that, it was just kind of like, okay, I've been in enough boats and rode in some other brands and stuff to kind of formulate what I want in a boat. Camus, I like their layout of boat. I mean, the layout of Camus is dialed. I mean, it's
Storage is
it's
crazy in that
simple,
thing, dude.
but it's perfect.
Yep.
You know, the back storage is huge if you put a lot of weight in the back of your boat. And, you know, the biggest thing was I had to test one in rough water, did that, and the thing dialed it. And I don't know. I mean, it's a great boat. It's really good. It's good all around.
Yeah.
I have absolutely nothing bad to say about the brand. It's treated me perfect. I've ran it in some seriously big water. It's good.
Their contingency is pretty good too.
Yep. Their
Like 10
contingency is good.
grand, 10 grand, isn't
7
it?
to 10, I think, depending what you're running.
Yep.
Yep. I think what's cool about boats and what I've learned is you've got there's some Hatfield and McCoy shit going on in the boat world, right? You've got the Earl Bentz way of thinking, which actually so come to find out, Mike Kennart, who's was our Camus rep, still is. He founded Triton with Earl Bentz, and he would tell me stories about how Gary Klaus would used to work for him at his
Really?
dealership, and
No way.
he'd be late for work all the time because he was bass fishing. And it's those guys Klaus, Kennart, Bentz, those guys are cut from the same cloth. So your Camus and your Phoenix are actually very similar,
Similar boats.
styles and philosophies.
Right.
Yep.
And then you've that's your Hatfields, right? And then you've got your McCoys, which is your Forrest L. Wood and Randy Hopper clan, right? So
Yeah.
Forrest L. Wood's the founder of Ranger Boats. He's the godfather of bass boats, so to speak. And Randy Hopper was his son-in-law. And now they're all on to different brands, and they've all sold their brands to the county whorehouse, and like they're on to new things, and it's kind of like, it's just cool. It was cool being at Intune, being in that and hearing some of the old stories about just the evolution of bass boats. And I think it's just like, it's just cool, man. Bass boats are badass, and like just all that goes into them and how they're built, and where you put the gas tank, and like it's a mousetrap, dude.
tweaks.
It's a big old mousetrap, and
It is.
there's a you're gonna sacrifice the speed of the kill of the mouse if you improve the clench of death on the mouse, so to speak. Like there's a give and take with bass boats. Like you can only make a 21-foot boat by 95 inches so many different ways.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think what's cool is like, so Phoenix is running tried and true. They're putting their gas tank like behind the seats. Camus, like Earl Bentz has kind of evolved on his previous designs. Like you probably had your Triton, loved how it rode, and now this Camus, you're noticing there's fiberglass rod lockers. There's a little more finish work around this, a little more finish work around that. The big thing with the Camus, I think, is they widen the pad on it, so it seems to carry a tournament load better. And like those Tritons would ride awesome until you cross the boat wake, and then it was like,
Exactly. No, the best thing that happened to me was owning a Triton first, because I learned really quick how to drive a bass boat.
yes, you did.
And once you learn that, then you're golden. But I mean, then it becomes almost second nature. Yeah.
Right.
Just chopping.
He doesn't know what that's like. He
had a Ranger
He's
with
"What's
no
this
hot
Phoenix
foot."
doing?
That Ranger was fast. Well, I had a
Bullshit.
dude.
Did it actually kind of?
It did 67 and
No,
a half one
no.
time.
No, it
No.
was 72.
Dude, that thing
right?
had
Actually?
that thing had that Evinrude on there. That G2.
Okay.
Dude, you could do 74 on that thing, no matter how much weight you had in there, all the time, guaranteed.
Damn.
That's kind of how my Phoenix is right now.
That's badass.
That Phoenix does like 72, no problem.
Every
It'll
day.
start to chime. I'll put some water in the live wells, add a little weight, and I can go 74 and it won't even chime. Like,
You just add a little weight and it'll go faster.
well,
You ever
I'm
tried
just
driving through the chine? Cause,
well, yeah, but
you know,
I'm not a crazy type of driver either, so I just kind of take it easy, you know.
for sure. But like a boat that chines, there's a big misconception with people up here versus if you talk to like people down south. Like people down south, if the boat don't chine, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah,
boy.
exactly.
What do you mean don't chine? You mean you didn't let it chine? You mean you didn't let it
You
chine?
didn't push the gas hard enough, boy.
Boy,
Do what now?
boy, we was driving through chine back in the 80s. Boy,
I actually got
we had slaves when we were driving through chine. Maybe you need to cut that. We'll see. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Might need to cut it? Yeah.
No, you're good.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it. All right. We'll leave it.
No, I got a sick story. One time I fished a bass open on Chickamauga. It was out of Dayton, Tennessee, and Buddy Gross is from Dayton, Tennessee, and he runs a Bullet. Yeah, which
The old
is
Kevlar
the
hull.
fastest goddamn boat known to mankind.
Well, it's built out of Kevlar, so you know it's good.
Exactly. So I was running a V20 at that time, which was, 72 mile an hour boat, something like
It
that.
was?
Yeah.
You got a fast one.
Oh,
I think.
that thing would
Oh,
do.
my shit. They
That
made
thing,
like 5, but
that thing would do 74 and a half when the water's cold with nothing in it.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's cold.
But anyway, moral of the story: running the dude's. He's one boat behind me on takeoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're both going down to the dam, which is a long haul. I don't know. It's got to be 30 miles or something like that. And he's not running the river in the channel like this. He's going straight because he knows where all the trees are and all this stuff. At the end of the day, every single time there'd be a wave, he'd let off and his boat's flying around. And I'm like right to the rug, never let off the whole entire time, pegged the whole way through. When we got there, he had me by like 150 yards, 30 miles. So
That's why you picked the boat up, boy. 3 more casts than you.
this is what I think. Driving a boat's the most important part. If you can drive a boat good, that's going to benefit you the most, I think. Learning how to drive through boat wake and stuff like that. And having a boat that can handle that boat wake, I think is.
Well,
I'll
I
take that over speed any day
If you're
long.
talking about a boat wake on Lake of the Ozarks, you're in a different story, dude.
Oh, you're definitely
Oh
a
my
different story.
gosh.
That's a surf boat
That
wake,
was
sir.
brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some big boats down there.
Yeah.
Some big
Big wakes.
wakes.
Big wakes.
Big.
Yeah.
And they come up on you. There won't be a boat, like you can't see one 2-3 miles each way of the river, and all of a sudden, here comes this wake.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
And you hit it. And I got a bad back, and it's like, oh, dude.
And I
I got a
got
4-foot
hurt.
Malibu, 2 miles down, wake surfing.
More like a 40-foot yacht.
I got
Yeah,
Yes.
they got them tiny dick boats down
Yes.
there.
yeah,
Got them
they
party
do.
boats.
Oh yeah.
You guys ever been to Party Cove down in
Fish
Yeah.
there. Never partied there.
I got a
Fished
sore neck coming out of Lake of the Ozarks looking at all the
Bass
trim.
live? Oh well, yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, do
Cheeky.
bass live in Party
Cheeky.
Cove, or do you fish there for a different reason?
No, Party Cove is like a good bass.
Good bass and
Yeah,
hole.
it's like one of the best little creeks there.
Isn't that like come out of PB2 and
yeah,
go to the right?
yeah.
Yeah, that is
So-
a good area.
It's
what
like
you guys
n-
are saying is, if you want to catch bass on Lake of the Ozarks, look for the titties.
Always just look for the titties no matter what. It's not going to hurt. I mean, that's the only reason I go to Tonka in the summertime. I mean, believe me, the fishing is not cool.
Every male here, potentially female, listening to this would be lying if they said they didn't look.
Oh, I
They
definitely
didn't.
look.
Bullshit, you didn't look. You looked. You just won't admit it.
Yeah.
what are you fishing this year? The team trail?
MNBN Team Trail and Champions Tour.
Okay.
Working to build up my business so I can go fish the bigs with you boys, but we're sticking in the state another year. I got a lot of unfinished business in this state.
Okay.
It's a humbling sport. So,
Well, you're like 20 years younger than us,
Yeah.
so
well, if you lose to Schutta and Champions Tour as much as I do, you've got a lot of unfinished business. So,
well, good thing he's not fishing this year.
yeah.
you
I'm
know
not
what?
bowed
It
out.
kind of disappoints me because, like, now if I do good, it's like, well, Schutta wasn't fishing. So it's
Exactly.
like, did I really do good?
I'm
Well,
going to
you-
dangle that carrot over your head every time.
Dude,
too.
I have respect for you. And we were talking about this a little before the podcast, how that format is a little bit more masterable, so to
Yeah.
speak, than like
Yes.
the 5-fish format. And it's not, so to speak, that guys are better than the guys fishing the 5-fish format. It's there's a strategy to both. And Mr. Schutta, I think I'm not alone when I say this, but you on the Minnesota Champions Tour, you figured out something, dude. And I swear to God, since I've fished it, I don't know if you've gotten less than a top 10, and you won Vermilion before I even started fishing that tour. So I want to, like, can you delve into a little bit of the consistency factor or the science of this? Because she's a humbling bitch for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I love the Champs Tour. Honestly, in Minnesota, I will say I want to go on record to say
On the record.
there is not a better tour in this state than the Champs Tour, in my personal opinion. I love
Payouts
that
are
tour.
epic.
Dude, the payouts are good. It's ran so good. The team behind it, Scott and Nancy and all the guys they got doing it, I take my hat off to them. Paul Newman, those guys do a amazing job with that tour. I really like
do.
it. I'm not fishing it this year. I feel like I kind of fucked up by doing that because
You did.
there was a June tournament, and we have a June tournament in Potomac River, and June is my busiest month working. And so I made the executive, really stupid decision not to fish the Champs
Stupid,
Tour.
dude.
I should
It's
have
an
just
automatic
entered.
check for you.
I should have just entered all three of them and just fished two. That's what I'm wishing I would have done right now.
If you had the odds that Kyle Schutta had going into any national event you fish that he does when he fishes Champs Tour, like, you would never miss a national event.
No.
And he's missing Champs Tour this
Right.
year.
On
And
Big Stone is the one that I didn't fish it because of.
that. Wait. One
Lake
sec-
sucks.
Wait,
Lake
what?
sucks.
What? 1 second.
No
here.
big bass.
You decided not to fish because of the schedule, not because of a conflict.
Not because of where the tournament was, just because of the fact that there was a June tournament.
I got you.
And
it
June
was
is the
hectic.
busiest month, and it's like business wise, I cannot afford to be gone more than 1 week out of June. It's a rule.
I get that.
I just can't. I literally can't.
I
So
get
I'm
that.
wishing that I would have just signed up for all 3 of them, paid it, because, they're only going to take people that are fishing the whole tour, which I agree with 100%. And I should have just paid for all 3 and fished 2. That's what I wish I would have done.
Or just show up for Big Stone and not practice for that one, and maybe actually, practice for the other 2, because you'd probably end up okay on Big Stone.
Probably not. Probably get
Whiting
killed.
probably give you his waypoints.
Probably not.
Probably not. I don't
No,
blame you.
I don't
You
know. I
need
mean,
nothing.
I wish I would have done that. Hindsight, whatever. I'm probably gonna have to try to beg and plead to get back in there next year, because I am already missing it and the season hasn't started. I'm kind of dreading that choice, but I was trying to be smart. This is the first year doing the MLF Invitationals, and I was like, I really just want to focus on that.
Yep.
Trying to move up. That's what this whole fishing thing to me is all about. Just trying to
For sure.
learn more, become better, just move up. That's my whole entire goal, and I'm super comfortable in Minnesota, so that's the reason that I didn't fish it. But getting back to the question at hand is, being consistent on the Champs Tour. I think it just comes down to, one word: versatile. Versatile. 100%. That's what it is for me. When every bass counts, if you can catch bass doing every technique, that's the whole thing right there. There's nothing more than that. That's just literally what it is. And yeah, I fish at a high speed. That probably helps me a lot in that. So those 2 things, versatile and speed.
Yep.
That's pretty much all it is to me. There's no other real mathematical science that
No, like you got your baits you're confident in. You carry a bunch of stuff, but probably less than I do. Like he's got the stuff he likes, and
yeah. I definitely do a lot of techniques. But like when it comes to one technique, I have the one bait that I throw in probably like 1 or 2 colors, and that's it. And I don't fuck with that. It's just that, and that's it.
same
If
with
they're
like
gonna-
trailers or any kind of plastic. Like
100%.
he's got like 2 different kinds.
Yep.
Or like
Yep.
it's
If
either
I'm
this
throwing
one
a
or
jig,
this
it's
one.
this jig and these 3 weights,
Which
and they're
jig
gonna.
in which trailers?
It's a homemade one by Nathan. It's a Nathan's Customs.
What about trailers? You pour your own trailers too? I was asking about the trailers, not the jigs, Kyle.
I throw a Rage Menace a lot. I throw a Rage Menace all the time.
Great trailer.
I mean, and I don't throw it because I think has some supernatural bass catching ability. I just throw it because it's simple and it's versatile as all hell. You can throw it Texas rig, jig, what.
Good on a swim
You
jig.
could
good
throw
on a
it
jig,
anywhere.
good on a Texas rig.
So that's me as a person in my own head. I'm like, if I throw this jig through here with a Rage Menace on it and it bites, great. If it don't, I'm fucking out of here. I'm on to the next place.
Teal can catch it then.
Yep. Teal can sit here for 45 minutes and try to get this stingy thing to bite. Or Minke, he's that guy. He'll
get it
literally
in 25.
he'll get it.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll get it.
If I don't get it in 2 seconds, I'm out of there.
Hey, babe, dude, it works for you, and like I respect that. And I don't know whether I should be like, a part of me is grateful you're not fishing, like, and happy, and the other part of me is like, man, I want to figure it out. So like, I want the best there, and you're one of the best to do it. That format. So
Appreciate that.
Like, I kind of want you there. So
Savage compliment.
Savage compliment.
yeah, fuck you, Kyle.
I'm pretty much like 99.9% sure I'm going to be there next year because I done fucked up about this.
well, there's
not
plenty of
fishing
people
this
who
year.
took your spot. We got like Joel Willard, for example.
already sent my
Joel's
check in.
doing it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Willard's
no.
doing it.
You got some
like,
competition,
Lyle Held,
dude.
you got Sobe jumping
Oh,
in.
man.
And anybody who sleeps on Sobe, like, everybody's
Yeah.
like, YouTubers, blah.
No,
Dude,
no,
Sobe
no.
can catch them.
I'm excited to spectate it, honestly. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude. Yeah. I used to watch it as a fan. I watched Kyle win a tournament once.
Yeah, I did win Vermilion. That was the first one I entered, my very first Champs Tour. Yeah, that was a good time.
I got a weird question for you boys, because this to me is what separates like us from the South is multi-day events and how like
Yes.
you prepare for those. Because to me that's hard to do if you've never done it or if you haven't fished a lot of multi-day events. Was that a tough adjustment for you guys? And B, what do you guys think is different about that?
It definitely was. I think a lot of it is a lot mental. Like a lot mental.
That's all I was gonna say too.
Like huge. Like it has a lot to do with what you're thinking that day and what's going through your head, and just listen to your gut a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I think.
So like mental, like this, like where you think this spot's only good for one day, but it will hold up for 4, or mental like be willing to like go scrap all of it and like go do some random shit.
Like both, for sure.
Or willing to mentally will yourself to stay in one area and just beat the piss out of it and just make some fish bite. You know, like
That's
we just got done talking about, you know, how fast I am. Like the last 2 turns we had Lake of the Ozarks and Eufaula, ended up lucky enough.
This podcast is brought to you by my brother from another mother, my tournament partner, and the best rod builder north of the equator that still has 20/20 vision, Veselka Fishing and Customs, specializing in custom fishing rods. Your custom rod, the way you want it, because it has to be your rod. However, he has a wide variety to choose from, including his all-new for 2023 custom chicken rod. If you throw the big fluff, the hairy Gary, the rotisserie dissery, the half-ounce Palomalu, the 3/4-ounce rooster biscuit, the lightener looking like D. Snyder, you're going to want to be throwing the Veselka Fishing Chicken Special Big Hair Jig Rod. Mr. Veselka spent a lot of time on this rod, and it has the perfect action to throw, hook, and land those fish that you maybe pulled the bait out from because the rod was too stiff, or had them spit it because your rod didn't have the backbone. Well, the new Chicken Special from Veselka Fishing and Customs has worked to solve both of those issues, along with superior balance and quality components. So head on over to his website, veselkafishing.com. That's VOCELKA fishing.com. Pick this rod up before it's too late, because up here in the North Country, they about to be schooling. Are you ready to reel in your next home purchase or refinance? Supreme Lending's Dream Team can help guide you through the entire mortgage process, from pre-qualification to closing. They have a wide variety of home loan programs in their tackle box, including down payment assistance and first-time homebuyer options. Just ask me. I trusted Aaron Dagas, a bass fisherman just like you and me, and Supreme Lending's Dream Team to help finance my first home. Contact Aaron Dagas and the Dream Team today by scanning the QR code or giving them a call at 763-326-0677. That's 763-326-0677. Did I catch a 7 in there? Or visit their website, aarondages.supremelending.com. That's AARONDAEGES.supremelending.com.
Hey guys, Gaff with Waypoint English Supply here. Just wanted to highlight the fact that we have the big bass resource right here. Obviously, everybody in Minnesota knows about Kitex and the littler swim baits like these bait labs here. But we're here to have the big baits here in the store. We got Huddlestons, we've got the dangerous swim baits, the jointed claw glide baits, and the bull shooter glide baits. But it's not only the baits. We've got big rods, big reels, big line, and all that good stuff for you guys to go ahead and chase your biggest fish of your life. So swing on into Waypoint English Supply and get hooked up with the biggest tackle around.
Enough to cut a check in both of them. I was inching around like a turtle most of that event. I mean, you follow one. I fished like a miniature area 700 times over, and that's how I got a check there. If you seen me in video, you'd be like, that's not the dude that I know. That is not the guy that I know.
See, how I picture him slowing down is like, burn through it with the jerkbait, burn through it with the chatterbait, burn through it with the spinnerbait, burn through it with the swim jig, burn through it with the jig, burn through it with the shaky head, burn through it with the drop shot, burn through it with the Nico rig. Holy shit, we caught one. To me, that's him fishing slow. That's my idea of you fishing slow. But you're saying you had the trolling motor less than 5?
Trolling motor was on like 2 to 4, and I was throwing a 3/16 ounce weight Well, the Texas rig caught pretty much every single fish besides 2 of them on a square bill. All the rest on that Texas rig like this.
Did you have to like rig
dude,
his ship for him
that-
and like put his trolling motor to like a
No.
lower level, set a governor on it?
That
you have
lake-
to tee it down.
That lake fish is really small, like really small.
Especially the time we were there. No, we're talking
No,
Eufaula.
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 Eufaula's
Got it.
huge. It's I actually pre-practiced there. I went from Florida
Massive lake.
right to Eufaula. And then
Eufaula,
right,
Oklahoma, by the way, not
Oklahoma,
Alabama.
Not
Oklahoma.
Alabama.
Oh, got it.
yes.
Yeah, see,
So there hasn't
totally
been a
different
lot
thing.
of major tournaments there, so there's not a lot to look at, So that's kind of why I would pre-practice there, and then went right from Eufaula, Oklahoma to Clarks Hill, our next tournament. And I kind of
Clarks
just
Hill-
looked
oh,
around.
yeah,
I
yes.
fished a little bit. I found some areas where I knew there were some fish. Caught some big ones on a jerkbait. Just active target them. It was cold water. They were chasing.
You're talking pre-practice.
Pre-practice,
Yep, month
chasing.
out.
So I kind of figured out some areas where some fish. So I kind of knew where to start practice or whatever. And him and I kind of both went kind of our separate ways, and we looked at where we kind of wanted to fish and practice and whatnot. And basically came to the conclusion that this lake fish is really small. I'll guarantee you half the field is going to be fishing in
Two
this
places.
this creek arm, and the other half's going to be up this creek arm.
Yep.
Because I took a little run in practice and was like, all right, I'm going to go fish some dirty water and a long ways from here and just see. And I never got a bite. And it was like some juicy looking stuff. I might have caught a spotted bass and like one little largemouth or something, but it just wasn't right. So the lake actually fished really small, and our preconceived notions were right. Like most of the field was in this creek and in that creek.
Well, we kind of talked about it on the way before we come down there, and like I had told Minke, I was like, I think these 2 creek arms are going to be the deal, because that's just kind of the hustle and bustle about the lake. And sure enough, it was like, dude, when you strayed away from there, it was trash. And the lake is freaking massive, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's big.
it is so big.
What makes those 2 creek arms the deal? Like, that's what I want to know.
Clean water, obviously.
A little bit
It's
of-
the
a little bit of
right
clean
habitat,
water,
perfect
yeah.
spawning habitat.
The
like
lake's
just-
not like real deep, and there's a lot of shallow flats. And when the wind blows, like it blows. Like
Yeah, if it blows the lake
it opens up and it dirties it up. And
You'll have that Oklahoma mud with like this much visibility on like 90% of the lake.
yeah,
Gotcha. See, because like up here, you look for a little dirt sometimes.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
dirt's
Not
good.
this
I love
you
dirty
know,
water.
but-
Trust me.
I mean, don't we all like the
Yeah.
get the lateral line going, get the old
Right.
square bill cooking through there.
now you're talking
get all
about
the food on. Yeehaw. So in this particular case, it's a matter of 90% of the fish live in 10% of the lake.
For sure.
This is a dirty, dominant lake. So guess what? The fish are going to be in the clean water.
Yeah,
That's kinda
I mean,
like
they-
that type
we-
of deal.
I wouldn't call it clean water. It was
Well,
a certain
less dirty?
certain
Less dirty.
bays, less dirty,
Yeah.
and then to furthermore get screwed, it was like pretty easy to figure out which type of rock that they were on in those bays. So then take those bays and then make them half as big.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I was like, oh fuck.
Everybody was fishing.
Everybody, dude.
Everybody
I
was
mean, it
fishing.
was a straight gangbang.
How do you deal with that?
Well,
Like,
you
that's
put your
like-
head down and you
You
like
cut
me,
this guy off. You cut that guy off. You
No.
Well, the problem was too there was other tournaments going on during ours,
Yeah.
like
Right.
a high school tournament.
How do you handle that?
you pull right in behind a dude, and
Yeah.
I literally can't tell you how many of my wayfish I caught. Like, oh, that guy's going down the stretch. Okay, he's like 40 yards up it. Okay, I'll go right behind him. You're literally fishing 50 yards. The dude is in front of you 50. Oh shit. Pretty big one.
Is that why he makes the homemade jig? Just so he's like, he might be throwing the jig, but he ain't throwing this jig.
Right.
Is
Probably,
half
yeah.
of that for your confidence?
Hey,
Like,
man, that was
hey,
on the
throwing
Could help.
this
That was
jig.
on the old T rig down there. Boy.
Okay.
Getting weird on
I
him.
bet he didn't peg his Texas rig. I pegged mine.
He
Or
was-
I bet
Kyle
he pegged
pegs
his. I
his.
didn't peg mine.
I took my weight with a white marker and make a stripe on each side. And then I break off one pincher on each side.
Oh my God.
You ever throw the
No way he does that.
chiggerless
He does
chigger
not
craw?
do that.
We were flipping the chiggerless chigger craw at him all weekend.
Dude, here's the
Chigger
deal.
crowd, no chiggers.
These two Kyles right here couldn't be any more different than the fact that I'm like, yeah, what's that pack of worms? Give me that. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, I'll put it on. And he's like, well, I had to squeeze out 2 pieces of salt. There's three black
He
flecks
knows
on
what
this
I'm
side
talking
about.
and
More like
one
this
black
guy.
fleck
I'm
here.
more like
I'm like,
this guy.
shut the fuck up,
like this
dude.
guy.
Give me that. Give me any
You
of
got to
those
get
worms in
that salt
pack
out
of
of there. It
worms.
floats a little better.
6 grains of salt.
Yes,
6
exactly.
grains.
Yes.
Stretch it 8 times, and I'm just like,
Don't stretch
no,
it too
no.
far. 6 grains only.
Oh, that was the 7th grain. Give me another worm. Give me another worm.
New worm. Need a new worm.
Literally.
Dude, that's crazy though. And like, so to me, it takes a lot of mental fortitude to look at a guy that just, not to mention MLF Pro, a Toyota series, whatever the fuck series Pro.
Invitational.
Yeah, like this guy just fished the bank, and you know he was moving slower than Schutta, and I'm Schutta, and how do you get the confidence to like fish in those situations behind those guys? You don't have another choice.
You ain't got no choice.
You ain't got no choice.
That,
You ain't got no choice.
that lake was tough. Like, you didn't have a choice.
Lieutenant
I mean,
Dan, you ain't got no
that's-
legs.
Yeah.
That's what was happening.
Ding,
Like,
ding,
that
ding.
was the deal. Just, it
Plus,
was what it was.
The other thing you got to remember is, you know, you just think of the bigger picture. It's, what was it, April?
Yeah.
April. April in Oklahoma, dirty water, the bass are spawning. They're spawning. I mean, you literally got to knock one in the melon for it to bite. That's probably actually what happens.
I got you.
Like, there's tons of fish on this bank. A good bank has tons of fish that just don't bite. They don't want to bite. I mean, it's like, you ever bed fish with one, you know, for one looking at it? I
Yep.
mean, you got to put some time and
Yeah,
effort
they're
into
big.
that.
Yep.
It's like, so that has to happen blindfolded. And that's how we caught our fish. So it's like, yeah,
That makes sense.
it's realistic to think I'm going to go down this bank, maybe one new one pulled up and nobody banged it on the head. I mean, and that's kind of what it was. And I did catch a couple on a 2.5 square bill on the first day, which was sweet. I was like, had 15 and a half pounds in 45 minutes.
Sounds like you Jeff Spragged him right in the fucking
Well,
belly.
he drove by
Got
me,
him.
and I was holding up like a 4-pounder, and he's just like,
I'm like this. I'm
he's
like,
I know you got him too.
because we started literally eyesight from each other.
Sick.
We knew right where we were going to start, and I wanted to get this stretch. And I was like, boat like freaking 100 or something like
Yeah,
that.
we were both way back. There.
Way back.
Like,
We're both like, oh my, we're fucked.
Yeah,
we're fucked.
we're screwed.
We're never getting there. I pull in, I'm like, my stretch is open. Went
Isn't
and
that
ripped down the
weird?
stretch, caught like 15 pounds. I was like,
but there was a lot of
Okay.
people in there fishing. But it
Tons.
just seemed like these two areas were open, and then people kept filtering in and out. And
yeah.
But how weird is that? How you feel like there's no way.
Right.
There's no like
There's
I've
no
literally not started on where I wanted to start because I didn't
Yeah.
like I thought it'd be a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that works. How when you find your own deal and like you just hone in on your deal and you think that everybody found it and all of a sudden your boat's 70 and you pull in and it's like,
Yep.
what the fuck?
All right.
I've had that happen. It's mind blowing to me. I don't understand that.
I will say too, one of my biggest hangups that I struggle with all the time going out of Minnesota is, you know, Minnesota, Wisconsin's such a spot orientated state, dude. It's like,
It is.
you know, like I could give him a waypoint right now. If he has like a jig worm, he's probably gonna bust him on that waypoint
The
if you're
reason I
casting at
fish
it.
slow, Kyle.
Yeah. You know, like that's just the reality of where we live here, especially in the summer.
All right.
You know, so when you travel out of the state, it's very like area orientated.
Yeah.
And that took me a while to kind of figure that out. So it's like, you know, in that area that me and him were fishing in Eufaula, in practice, I'd found that one stretch that I really want to start on. And then in that area, I just drove around. I knew he already got good bites in the area, and I just looked at stuff and never even casted it. And so, and that first day, I ended up fishing stuff that I never practiced, which is a super hard thing to do.
It's hard to do. Yeah.
Really
I bet.
hard to do.
I bet.
When you're a newbie like us. And yeah, I mean, you have to do that stuff down south. It's definitely an area thing. You can't be like, oh shit, that dude's on my waypoint. I'm screwed. I'm done. I'm not going to catch him. And that's kind of how it is here. It's like those dudes are on winning spots. Yep, we're done. Especially if you fish in Chisago area, like where we're from.
I've heard the area you guys are from,
Dude,
it's cutthroat as fuck.
Gosh, yeah, it is.
I won't even go to them lakes
I wouldn't
because
either.
I've heard too many things.
But you can
about
still catch them,
things.
dude. Like,
Oh, I know you can.
I feel
but
bad
How many fucking
go there.
arguments you want to get in to catch them? Like,
it's not that bad
Couple.
when you're all buddies.
like they don't
you
get
know?
mad if
like,
you throw out their outboard. It's when you throw out their trolling motor when they get pissed.
Dude, people
They don't
talking about Tonka having some pressure. Like, yeah, it's got some pressure. Come up to where
Chisago?
we're from.
Chisago?
It's a war, dude.
Oh,
It is
I-
a war.
It's bad.
It's a war zone. Chisago.
It is.
If you
Oh,
go to
yeah.
Chisago in July, it's kind of like you might as well go to like Crimea, Ukraine,
It's
Russian
bad,
border.
Yes.
but you can
Yeah.
still
Yes,
catch them.
that's-
You can still whack them. Like
Still
shit.
takes 20 pounds every tournament, 4 days a week.
Yep.
2 spots in the whole lake.
Two
No.
spots and two. Well, I mean,
couple
there's more,
more,
but I
but
mean,
yeah.
realistically, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That'll
Things
make
get-
a guy like prepared to fish. Like to your point though, like you want to be prepared to fish the opens or MLF or anything like that where you
Right.
dealing with crowds where
Yeah.
you guys were just talking about. You're like, dog, I fished Chisago July 15th. Like 5 years in a row. This ain't shit.
You gonna let me get 50 yards?
Yeah, buddy. I got so much room here.
That's what it's kind of nice on the like. Everybody's pretty like. I haven't gotten any confrontations this
No.
year. Everything's been really good. I had a little breakdown on this last one at Lake of the Ozarks, and Andrew Norby was leading day one, and him and I were within casting distance. My head was buried under my console because I had a little wiring issue. And I look up, and he was far enough away, but he got to all the brush kind of before I did, and he had 21 pounds, and I had freaking 10.
You had wiring issues.
I had wiring issues.
Isn't it you're on a Camus?
I think so.
Wiring it? Wait, below the console on your
Dude,
boat?
the
You
fuse
can't get to the wires below your console.
the fuse panel.
Oh, the fuse block, yeah.
One of the wires, one of them's got a screw on it, and it
Yep.
came out.
I've seen that before.
And I didn't. My levels wouldn't work.
Oh,
We got to run a GoPro all day, and my GoPro wasn't on. And I looked back, and my GoPro wasn't on, so I figured something was wrong. So
We had that issue in the morning, and me and you were like, "What the hell?"
oh
We got it to turn on.
oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
exactly. It must have just barely been touching or
Yep.
something.
Yep. And then you probably
And then I
to your
ran
spot,
30. I
and
was
it
like
wiggled.
30, 40 miles up from takeoff, and
Yeah.
I got there. My live wasn't going to turn on.
Oh, dude, them ghosty little wiring things are so stressful because it's like,
Stressful.
yeah. Well, it's like your main shit. It's like, yo, dude, there's nothing. Like, I checked it all. It's all
Right.
good. Like that little freaking screw.
One screw.
going in
That was
the
it.
fuse block.
So I just quick zip tied it up and put one screw back in the panel. And I'm like, all right, I'm good to go. 45 minutes later, after a couple phone calls, I tried figuring it out on my own. Because we wire our boats ourselves with Nathan or whatever, and I know everything that can go wrong, basically besides something like that. And I couldn't figure it out, and I didn't know what to pull apart. And
After the good Lord invented the Remington shotgun,
Yeah.
he invented himself the zip tie.
And I carry like a bunch of extra stuff in my boat, tools, screws, everything.
Yep.
I didn't have that screw. But when I got back to the campsite we were staying at,
You had it.
I bring a tote of stuff in my truck, and I had the right screw. Quick fixed it up, done deal.
And then the very next
Yeah.
day, after I had a good bag, I don't know, 14 something, day one was well inside the cut. I'm like, it's going to happen, baby. Back down in, go to start my motor. Beep. Guardian mode. I'm like, dude, stop. Crank it back on the trailer. This is like 40 minutes before takeoff. Drive over to the Merc trailer. Dude hooks the computer up. I see that it's a throttle position sensor error. I'm like, they replaced that like last year when I broke down at the river, and it cost me a Champs Tour win. Legitimately, I
Recall on
swear.
that.
Yeah. So you know what it was? Dude pops calling off, looks where it plugs in, pushes on it. He goes, key it on. Beep. Fired up. Whoa. He's like, there's a pin that goes through there to hold that on. They didn't put that pin on there.
Jeez.
He had it fixed in under 2 minutes.
Dude,
Yeah.
you think about like I never even thought about this. Like, dude, a mechanical issue could cost you a Bassmaster Classic title. A mechanical issue could cost you an Angler of the Year championship.
Oh, for sure.
It has.
Turning your
and
live
will.
wells on in the back of a creek could cost you a win.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I personally have this dark cloud over my head.
He
can
does.
contest.
He does,
Dude,
for sure.
I've
told him in
break
so many
down
times. It's
so
unreal.
much. Dude, last year at the river, so
You
okay.
shouldn't have cheated on Chelsea back in high school. You got some karma going your way there, I think.
She cheated first.
She cheated first.
Oh my God.
No, so at the oh god, I guess sad talking about this, but the river tournament champs tour last year, I never felt like I was gonna win a tournament more than I've ever felt in my entire life on that one. But it was only on the Minnesota side. Like I had that Minnesota side, like it's going down. I was like, long as I can be in the top 25 in Wisconsin, which was the morning period. I don't know, I got in the teens or something like that, like not doing spectacular, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm just salivating thinking about going out on the Minnesota side. Getting on plane from the takeoff, beep, throttle position sensor, done. Never even got to make a cast.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Were you square billing?
No.
No, he's Ned Reagan. He's Ned Reagan.
Doing some other stuff.
Ned Reagan with the nets and
He was
Ned
drop
Reagan.
shotting.
We're going to be back there. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
drop shotting.
Showing
I was
it.
doohickey rigging.
I hope we go back there because I got unfinished business there too.
I got some
Minus the
unfinished
throttle
business.
position sensor. Jesus.
Yeah, that sore subject. Next topic.
Well, the good news is it was covered under warranty.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know. I'll be honest, you do have a dark cloud because I ain't heard of a lot of mercury throttle position sensors since like 2018 when they came out. So
Really, honestly, let me just say this. It doesn't have anything to do with mercury. Like we were talking before, I can't even send an email. I mean, a computer will freeze up if I walk by it. That's just what it is.
Mr.
I just
Suda,
any
we were
kind of
going to take a
technology.
warranty claim, but you did not send an email.
Literally.
Mr. Suda,
It is denied.
your warranty claim is denied because you
didn't send it.
You forgot to hit send on
Shelby would
your
get
email.
it though. Shelby would
There
get
was
it.
too many grammatical errors in your email.
I don't know. I give up.
Mercury makes a very reliable motor until we sold it to Mr. Suda.
It doesn't matter the name, Brent. It's, I don't know.
Yamaha, every Mercury,
Yeah.
she was gonna break. So, dude, that's too bad. You probably would have won AOI if you'd done good on the river.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's still fishing. Who knows? I could have bombed. You don't know for sure until you're there. But man, I can tell you that. I think I marked without hooks, like I think it was like 145 bites.
And you proceeded
they would
to watch
rebit.
Tommy Parker on the YouTube blast
Yeah.
all your fish.
Yeah, I seen where he caught those. That was okay area, but there was like 15 spots that were way better than that.
Shoot, it's like I could have caught like 175
Way better.
pounds.
Way
in that
better
other
than
spot.
that.
If he'd have gone 3 marinas up, he would have seen the real gold mine.
No, it was some weird off the wall stuff. That's
That's
why
cool.
I felt I was like, dude, nobody is going to be onto this. Nobody.
What makes you guys look for that off the wall shit? Like I love off the wall shit is that's like I love looking
Yeah.
for that shit. Like that's but it's like okay, what's the wall? And then what's off of it, right? Because you've got nothingness, which
Yeah.
is hard to fish.
You almost have to. I mean, look at Kelly Jordan on Ufala. Like he found the pre-spawn and post-spawn area. While we were just sticking with the spawners. I mean, and
Yeah.
look what he did on day 3. Like he whacked them.
Kelly Jordan is a low-key gangster, and
Right.
Yeah.
he found himself a wife. Like he learned the Schutta and Minke program like, for real.
And there's a bunch of guys like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that is good. We're fishing against a pretty stacked little field there, and
It is. No, I've definitely been kind of wowed at like the competition is like, sometimes you have that feeling where you're like, you go out in tournament morning, you're like, oh, those like group of dudes over there, they could win for sure, and like this thing, it's like, fucking any of these guys could win this tournament
Yeah. All of
right
them.
now.
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure.
dude,
Well, it's
So, and it makes you better fishing against people like that.
does, for sure.
That's why I never understood when you're in tournaments and people are like, oh, we're on, this lake. I can't believe he showed up. We're done. Why would you not want to fish against the best of the best? I always would bring the best dudes here. That's how I'm going to get better,
bingo.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that mentality.
Yeah.
But like looking for off the wall shit, like you're fishing a lake and you're like, okay, this is the deal.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's always that shit that's hidden in like plain sight. Like there's that shit that's the deal, and then there's like this shit that's right next to that, or there's that little thing that's there yet nobody's doing, or like that little something hidden in plain sight. Like
There's always something somewhere.
And a lot of times you find it when you're not even trying to find it.
It is.
You're
Isn't that
like,
weird?
So true.
Shoot.
Right.
Kyle Schutta's watching brazzers going down the lake.
Literally.
And sure as shit, he's just
up.
jerking
Knew he
it.
was gonna
He's just
mess up.
jerking it. He's just whacking it, right? And all of a sudden, like, oh, fuck, he's almost to the back of this creek and he's about to go. And all of a sudden, oh, my God, what? His mercury cuts out and it's the throttle fuel position sensor. And he's like, oh, fuck. Oh, man, my balls are blue. And then he looks over, he's like, oh, my God, there's a big brick behind that dock. I think I need to fish it. And then he goes over and he skips his jig and he catches a 4-pounder. And
Winning
then he's
brick.
like, man, I'd like to thank Brazzers for this game-winning pattern I just found. Thank you, Brazzers.
You gotta tell the story about the Snapchat before you just.
No.
Can I?
Is that
Am I
is
allowed?
that a type of jig?
Sure, go ahead.
I think it's a type of jig.
So
he's
I can-
talking
It was
about.
actually just a joke. By the way, it was a joke.
I've never laughed so hard in my life. Cole,
That
did I
was
tell
pretty
you
funny.
this story?
No.
So I'm like just sitting there the other day. I don't even remember what I was doing. And I pull up my Snapchat and I'm like, oh, Kyle Schutta snapped me. That's interesting. It's like, isn't he fishing he's fishing like a Toyota right now or something, or practicing
Invitational.
for it. And I open my Snapchat and the caption says multitasking. And it's Schutta running down the lake, 2 12-inch graphs and an iPad. The 12-inch graphs have the lake and all the shit he's looking at. And then the iPad, he's got brazzers, fucking just people just railing on camera. And he's getting like 5 birds stoned at once, dude. I swear to God. I've never laughed so hard in my life. And that would have been an Insta viral reel if you'd have done it. And I'd just like grab your balls and like just do it. That's what I have to say. Like, you're the only guy I know who watches porn, beats off, skips a jig at 100 miles an hour, and catches bass like that. You are the Hugh Hefner of bass fishing, Kyle Schutta.
No, I definitely
Minus the
wasn't.
hookers, right, Shelby?
It was essentially just rigged. I don't know. I rigged up a iPad on my boat, and I usually don't use
Just for
that.
brazzers? Yeah.
No,
Oh my God. This is what I got to deal with.
literally, he does.
Like, you're thinking too hard.
I mean, he stayed in my camper down there. I mean, you
Well,
can
that's
just
why you
imagine
can
what
watch
happened.
brazzers in the camper. He's like, oh, this is weird.
No, I rigged up that
Got his
iPad.
alone time.
I rigged up that iPad
I had a
especially
loud
for
fan.
for Lake of the Ozarks, just because it was money for the docks down there. There's a million humongous docks, and it actually was a huge key to cashing a check down there. Literally,
I heard laws is a category on brazzers, actually, where you like.
we're gonna get into that. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
He's not done. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I was just driving down the lake, probably sick of looking at fish on beds and marking crap, going a little bit delirious on the 3rd day of practice, and figured it'd be funny.
Dude, I fucking died.
So I had to Google it up going across the lake and
It's
send that
like-
Snapchat.
You know, I found like 25 pounds on beds. Probably time to rub one out.
Yeah.
You know. So like, what's your guys' like go-to category when you're going on? Like, I can't afford brazzers yet.
You're working up to it.
All in good time.
I got
I'm
like
still,
a
like, on the
premium
cheap
account.
shit.
I can give you my other login if you need.
Really?
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna get that. Before
you can
we
get
leave.
Shelby's login.
I'd love Shelby's login.
Oh, she'll give it to you.
Yeah, dude. I want to watch all the black dude porn. I'm just kidding. No, seriously. Like, what's your guys' go-to category? You guys like,
I don't know. I don't have a
There's
go-to.
no category. It's strictly business for this guy.
POV, straight missionary. We do it traditional. That's how it's getting done.
No, I don't know.
No
Why-
categories. Got it.
I'd be 2 chicks.
At once?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Mickey's in it 2 dudes, I think.
2 dudes. Eiffel Tower. You go to Paris, France.
Mickey's like, cut all of this out right now.
That's all you guys got to say. It's allowed. I want to be respectful to our guests, especially the gay ones.
I don't care. You can leave it in. I don't really have nothing on it.
Whatever.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So it's time for a piss break. I have to pee.
Yeah.
Another one?
I'm ready.
Yeah. This is brought to you by Maker's Mark and Brazzers. Thank you, Kyle Schutta. I've never seen a funnier Snapchat. So you were that bored because you found so many bedfish. You're like, well, I got like about 85 3 to 5 pounders on beds. Probably time to rub one out.
Trying to pull on myself driving across the lake here. No, not quite. Not quite.
Kind of sick of pulling on these bass. I think I'll pull on something else.
No, just bored. Needed to keep everybody back at home entertained. Hadn't talked to my wife in a while. Figured I'd just let her know what I was doing driving on the lake.
Shelby, I think it's really nice of you to let your husband watch porn. There's a lot of women out there that would get jealous of the fake boobs and all the weird shit. And, you know, we got into this at the beginning, but, like, it takes a true strong woman like you to build a professional bass fisherman like Kyle. Look at you now.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. JK.
As long as the ratio of you whacking it versus like you making love is
We're
like
not going to stop with this.
as long as you make love more than you whack it, then it's okay.
There's
Right?
no whacking going on.
Zero
I can tell
whacking.
ya.
You guys
No.
don't whack it on the road.
No.
What happens in the camper stays in the camper.
No.
Okay, so
No.
you whack it, you just don't tell each other.
No, we don't.
Well, how do you?
None of that.
So I've heard, like some guys would say, let it all out before the tournament. I'm more of a guy. I like to keep all the testosterone in my body. Is that how you guys roll? You like to blow them up?
It depends if the wife's along or not.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Actually, believe it or not, I don't think about that even remotely close when I'm
I don't.
fishing. It's like the last thing I care about.
Totally.
I'm straight up business on bass fishing, and like I love to twist drinks and have fun. I am so all about that. But when it comes to bass fishing, I literally could give the least amount of fucks about that.
Yeah.
I'm straight bass fishing.
We
and that's
have
all
like
that matters.
maybe a drink or two.
Drink
a
or
night,
two at
just
night.
so we could sleep a little bit, you know. And
I think for the first two years of this champs tour, I don't think I even had a beer at night. Mm-hmm. Like once in a while, I stayed with Stickman. Me and him would travel together, and he'd be like, "Have one." I'm like, okay, fine, I'll have one. You know, but I mean, you catch me on a Friday night at home. We're gonna have some fun,
freaking guy's got the rib cage of a large cat.
and the heart of a lesbian.
The heart of a lesbian. That is a heart. Wow.
What else were you gonna say?
So my cousin got bit by a gay guy. I don't know. I did not make that up. That is not my joke.
Did he have all his teeth?
So that's that.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Well, I think, being a single man, I think that rubbing one out before the tournament could be
He's back on it.
could be quite glorious.
You got Coley rattled up. You do what you
Could
gotta
be quite
do.
magical.
Yeah.
No,
I think you just got to hunt around for one of them winter bassin rats.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm happy in my skin.
Okay. That's good.
You need some Jennas in your life. I'm telling you, dude.
I'll find me a Jenna.
She's freaking.
Here's
She's
the deal.
awesome.
There's a lot of fake Jennas running around, okay?
Yes,
A lot of
there
fake
is.
Jennas running around, and I ain't falling for it, okay?
Yeah.
So, it might take me 5 years, but I'm going to get through about 15 fake Jennas and I'm gonna find me a Jenna.
Oh, enjoy getting through the fake Jennas. I mean, that's a process that's fun too.
They say you have to enjoy the ride.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to test the Jenna to know if she's the real Jenna.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, takes at least 3-4 months before you're like,
I was thinking
you're the
days,
fake
but-
Jenna. You're not even the real Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to build them into a Jenna. That's where I'm coming from.
This is
process.
what I'm learning, and you guys don't understand this because you're old and married. And married.
And old.
And old.
And old.
But we've been there, done that.
Nowadays, there's all this online dating stuff.
Dude, I heard about this.
This
We got
swipe left, swipe right shit. It's weird. Like you walk up to a girl in the bar, they're like,
Why are
I
you
didn't,
talking?
I didn't swipe on you. Like, what are you doing? I didn't swipe right on you.
Half
Like,
of me,
you want to see me? Fucking check my Tinder, okay?
half of me
I don't talk
feels
to
jealous that I didn't get to try that, and half of me's happy that I didn't have to fuck with that.
I'm glad.
I'm like, fine.
I'm glad.
Now
we
I
did.
know you're not my Jenna.
We got a buddy back at home. He started the Forest Lake bass fishing team, Jake Mastel, and he's I think
Yeah, I heard of
is he
him.
22? He's 22,
22, yeah, 22.
and he's just like, dude, you don't even know. It's I'm like, why are you not? It's Friday at 9 p.m. Why are you not at a bar trying to do something sketchy? Dude, it doesn't work like that in my generation. I'm like,
Yes, it does, Jake.
dude,
Dude,
no.
he's too much into fishing. He just wants
Yeah.
to catch bass.
Fishing and working.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
and make money.
Sure,
I respect that.
I kind of do.
Kyle's like, yep, you fish through the spawn. Once the spawn's over, it's a new spawn. Let's call it the new spawn. Shad spawn.
The galaxy spawn.
There's always something spawning.
Year
Perch
round.
spawn, then crappie spawn, then
Oh,
sunfish
man.
spawn. Then... what spot? You go in the fall, there's a Cisco spawn. What else spawns in the fall? Cisco spawn.
The bucks, then they get in rut.
Bucks spawn in the fall. What else spawns in the fall, Minke?
Oh, gizzard shad.
Really? See, the threadfins spawn in the spring. The gizzards.
No, there was some gizzards spawning on Lake of the Ozarks. Actually.
That was a false spawn. That was.
Was it? Oh,
Thought they were
do
spawning.
toy-
They were shooting
The
blanks.
premature spawn.
Shooting
Makes
blanks.
sense now. Makes
Practicing.
sense.
Oh god.
Beating off watching Brazzers, you know, just gizzard shad spawn, just fall spawning, freaking all over Lake of the Ozarks in the fall.
Teal, blue winged teal is fired up right now.
I'm not fucking around in that place.
Dude, we on our way in here, we see the sign on the road where it's got all the people's names to your house. You're
You
not on there. Kyle said he's gonna make you a blue winged teal
Literally.
duck
Are
with
you?
a
And
teal.
I'm gonna hammer it up
teal
on that
sauce.
post.
There's a reason I hadn't made a sign yet.
Oh, he's gonna be
'Cause
there.
I knew someone was
Next
gonna
time
come
I
along
come back
and
for one of
see-
these podcasts, I'm gonna have a custom blue winged teal hammered up on the top of that pole.
Oh my god, dude. You'd make my day. Make my day doing that.
Yeah.
You'd be the guest of the year.
Yeah.
Better even than Minky.
No, there's no way
Yeah.
I could compare to that.
Oh yeah,
Well, Minky and I are about to land on Saturn, so you might be right.
With
but
spinning rods in both of your hands, you guys are going to be the people with the brazzers pulled up on your phone.
As soon as him and I land on Saturn, we are about to open the bail and never close it.
all I'm saying is I hope you got a
ahead.
net for this table because
I do have a net for this
Okay,
table, and
it's-
I'm just wondering how you hold your paddle.
you'll find out.
You do the upside
No, you'll find out.
he does like he holds the I don't know, he holds the half of the paddle. I think he's bouncing the ball off of his hand, to be honest. He's cheating. He's essentially cheating. Hey, and he puts lead weights in his paddle, I think.
I usually never talk to our
no.
audience, but audience, I want you right now, if you really want to see something cool, I need you to comment on our YouTube channel or personal message me, probably not, on Facebook.
Probably not.
If you want to see a white-on-white ping pong match between
Yes.
me and Minky.
Yes.
Oh, bring it on.
It would get
Yeah,
heated.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. That could get epic. So
I knew
you heard us here.
I knew I should have brought my paddle.
Yeah.
I
He
got
doesn't
paddles.
play unless he has his
No,
own
I need
custom
my
Wait,
paddle.
you got like your own
I
fishing?
do.
Fucking,
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes.
We wipe wasabi.
I'll
on
beat you with your own
Jesus
paddle. That's
Christ.
fine. I'll beat you with your own paddle.
We
That's
soak
fine.
our paddles in wasabi for 3 days. We age them.
You guys are definitely having a heated ping pong match tonight.
Yeah, dude. We shouldn't have had a podcast. We should have had a ping pong match. With
You can just stream that in at the end of the show.
Yeah, dude, and you could play brazzers for us.
Blasters.
Blasters for us the whole time.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I want to know something, Schutta.
Yeah.
Learning to fish that fast. Okay, here's my experience trying to fish that fast. Backlash. Fuck.
Yeah.
Ting, dock, post. I feel like I need to retie 3 more rods before I fish this dock.
Yeah.
To me there's a mentality for practicing to fish that fast too.
Yeah.
And premium browsers membership, like there's a few things involved with like honing in on this
Yes.
crackhead style you got
Yes.
here. Like it's full on crackhead style.
It
Do you
is.
practice for that? And like to me it's a completely different mentality in general versus like me and Minke sitting on Saturn opening the bail and watching
Yeah.
that 70s show,
Yeah. Nope. Great question. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't in practice. Depends on what I'm in. If it's a tournament where it's a 5 bag, I practice completely different. I mean, people that tell you, like Champs Tour versus a 5 bag, oh, it's all the same. I fish the same. No, you don't. No, you don't. No.
I agree
Then
with
you don't
that.
fish bass then. I mean, there is no way, I don't care what anybody says, I practice 100% different when I fish for Every Fish Counts. 100% different. And I kind of, dude, I'm all about it. Like, I love it. Dude, I'm just like, oop, there's another 2 bites right there. There's a bite over there. There's might be a school on that rock pile. Oh, there's 2 fish on that dock. There's 1 on that weed. So literally, yeah. Yeah.
There's one on that stem of weed.
It's Christmas Eve and I'm about to get some presents. Yes, I definitely do. I mean, I'm marking everything, thinking of probably 15 different patterns during like a Champ Tour event where like, if you come to the Invitationals or just any, 5 bass tournament, I mean, it's like, yeah, I know we could catch a ton of fish doing this, and this. We're going to just write that all off because we ain't going to win doing that. So you're just totally like, okay, I want to win. Yep, it's going to be between these 2 offshore spots, and we're going to try to stay out there the whole entire day. So you got to be able to turn it on and turn it off. And I think the people that know how to turn it on and off that are going to succeed switching between those 2 formats. For sure. And I feel like that's what I like to do. I'm good with that. So being fast-paced gets me to be able to switch it on and off like that quick.
So you slow down more in a 5 fish? Is that what I got out of that?
I'll slow down when I need to slow down, and I don't have a problem slowing down. Actually, so that's a funny thing. Like I get this, deal where they're like, "Oh, you only fish fast and you hate spinning rods." But if that's the winning deal, dude, I'll saddle up. Like,
How do you know that's a winning deal? Because you only fish it for 2 minutes.
you just know, I mean, when you
just
get out
know?
there, you catch a big bite doing this, and
Kyle
then
Schutta, you just fucking know. Okay?
Well, I mean,
I
like-
just fucking know.
You get on a certain weed
You get
thing
on
where
certain
there's rock or
stuff.
something, and they're living there. Like,
Yeah.
he knows. To
I mean,
slow down.
Because active target.
That's the only reason.
I seen them.
Forward facing,
I
bruh.
seen them. That one was 4.5. That one was 5 1/4. That one's 3 3/4.
I could see his tail doing this on the active target, so I knew that was the winning deal right there. It
You
called
can see
it.
the tail on the fish.
No, I mean, like you go down 5 weed lines and catch 20 fish, and the biggest one's 2 pounds, and then you hit a rock spot and you catch a 5. It's like, okay, we're gonna be
Fish and
doing
rock.
this. That's it.
and rock.
and we're going to try to replicate this. And then we're going to figure out the best rock spots. And then we're only going to condense those few spots down. And that's all we're going to do that whole entire day.
So you guys don't think there's like a random 5-pounder? You think anytime you catch a 5-pounder, there's a pattern?
That depends on the lake.
Right?
Yeah, that
right.
depends.
That's the
100%.
thing. It's like a lot of times a guy will who catch a big one and he'd be like, was that a fluke or
Yeah.
is that a pattern?
Yeah.
One's a fluke, two's a pattern, right? Do you need to catch 2 5-pounders?
Well, are you talking about Champ Tour style or 5-bag?
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Kyle.
I knew you didn't. Are you
I
at
knew it.
Saturn
I
or
knew it.
what
I was
planet are you
talking
on?
about the pattern on Venus, and then we was talking Venus to Jupiter.
I would tell you that in the every fish counts format, I don't really care too much about the size at all. I don't really care.
I agree with that.
It
It's
doesn't
number of
even
bites
matter.
to me. It's number of bites.
Yep. And then I also don't try to get too strung out about a spot or a couple certain spots. Like, I can't tell you how many times I was like laying in bed the night before a Champs Tour thinking, oh man, if I can get to that spot, we're going to hammer them. And then you're like boat 5 and you're running. You're like, oh shit, teal's on that spot. Okay, whatever. And you just got to be able to just write that off and it's not anything. You know, that's happened like 100 freaking times. You're running to a spot and someone's on it. Okay, yeah. I thought I was going to win the tournament there. Now it's not an option. So just write it off right away and get to the next thing because it doesn't matter now.
My analysis on in a 5-fish, what I like about a 5-fish is I feel like I can test negative 12 times and stay positive the whole time.
I'd agree.
Champs Tour, I feel like you need to have your negatives and positives before the tournament of your boundaries of this is the realm I can play in.
Yeah.
And you can't you can't go here where it's this is the only answer. You need a realm. Champs Tour, you need a realm.
You can't not catch them for a half an hour.
You can, but you can't. It depends.
Yeah. You got to be
it's
on
weird.
the momentum train like this, the whole day. It helps big time. If you get stagnant, that's not good.
No.
No.
My best Champs Tour finish, I had a good start in the morning, and momentum's a powerful drug. And
Seagull Lake?
I rode it. Yes. Momentum's a powerful thing. That's what I realized about Champs Tours. Momentum's a powerful drug.
Yeah.
Fishing's a momentum sport. Hockey's a momentum sport.
Yeah.
Baseball's a very slow momentum sport. How do you build on momentum when you get it, and how do you create momentum out of thin air? That's the weirdest thing is most fishermen deal with the opposite of momentum, which is resistance to most things they do. And you guys could probably attest to this on fishing down south. You're dealing with mostly resistance. So how do you turn that resistance into momentum, and how do you keep riding that?
That dude can. I can tell you, I struggle with that all the time.
Kyle's definitely got some momentum right now, cashing checks in the last 2 or whatever. I've been struggling a little bit.
You cash check on Clark's Hill.
I
though,
did.
Second tournament.
That helped a lot. I mean,
Did you try any shiners?
That's what he got him on.
I did not try shiners on Clark's Hill. No.
What about spy bait? Mimics a shiner.
I did not try a spy bait. I was mostly looking at them. You could get them to eat any kind of paddle tail with a small jig. I mean, they were pretty dumb there.
The spotted bass and some largemouth too. I guess. Yeah.
I actually had a largemouth thing going, and that went away during the tournament. And I thought I was going to do really good. Actually, I had some shallow brush piles that the largemouth were on, and actually Jacob Wheeler was fishing the same stuff I was. We were crossing paths all day long, and I kind of gave up on the largemouth and went to the smallmouth or the spotted bass thing, and thank God I did that because it kind of saved me a check.
Day 2 for sure.
Day 2, and then day 3 I was like, all right, I'm going largemouth fishing. I went all in, and I only caught 10, 12 pounds or whatever I did, but it back to the mental thing. I mean, it's momentum is big for sure. I mean, Kyle's kind of got that going right now, and
Yeah. Well, I struggled on Clark's Hill, so I missed the check by less than a pound. Day 2 lost like a 4-pound largemouth on a dock and then a 3-pound spot, and then either of those fish would have bumped me into the cut. But it's how it goes. You know, you lose
Brazzers
fish.
is a double-edged sword. Brazzers is a double-edged sword.
It's tough, brother. You know,
Premium membership is a tough road.
premium membership. When you get one, let me get the password.
Yo.
See, yeah, you just got to try to keep an open mind and be willing to change it throughout the day. I mean, like I give you guys a bunch of props for like fishing the Champs Tour stuff. I've kind of been afraid to do it because I've never fished that style. I've always been on the 5 bass thing, and I don't know if I would do well doing what you guys do at the Champs Tour or whatever. I think it would be tough for me.
Well,
You
what
need
I've
to
learned
adapt
in our,
a little bit from your style, but I think you do good.
I mean, I can fish fast, but I think I'm better fishing slow. You know, like
I'm that way. Like that's the thing is like I feel like I can fish fast, but I feel like when I do well, I'm fishing shit better than someone else, or I'm like picking shit apart better than someone else, or I got a cricket that I can pick shit apart with better than someone else, or
Yeah.
that's been my biggest struggle with Champions Tour. To be honest with you, it's been a tough adjustment that way,
Right.
because of that.
yeah,
Because you're used to doing it the
in
way we do it.
5 fish way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. And like gull was a big I've had a lot of epiphanies like crazy. Like, oh my God. Holy shit. Like all the time. And like that Gull Lake, it was like
Eye-opening.
eye-opening.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I give you a lot of credit, Schutta, because I feel like because you fish faster and more stuff, you learn quicker sometimes than some of us guys that fish slow. And the reverse can be said, right? Fishing's a double-edged sword, right?
Totally.
Your freaking thing that like freaking gets you the win that cuts the king's head off on the Bowser Castle or whatever. That's the same thing that cuts your own head off that next tournament.
Well, so let me say this too. If you look at the history of Champions Tour, I mean, you know, you could take a guy like me. Yeah, it might be consistent. You know, that's great, cool. But typically, it's won by a guy that is milking an area for everything it's worth and railing a school. That's typically how it's won. You know,
I might
that
win
guy
one
win
someday.
Oh, you're gonna win.
Yeah, I
you'll
win
probably
one
win a
someday.
pile of them.
That's my deal.
But literally, if you can find that and you can do that, you probably will win. You know, the majority of the Champs Tour tournaments are won like that. They are.
To be fair, there hasn't been a lot of Champs Tours that have been school and fish deals
Good.
like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gull and Pelican. Which other ones?
Tonka.
Yep.
Kagama maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Wasn't there. Yep. But the last 2 years, 3 schooling events. Most of them have been Schutta type, like.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't catch
and
schooling fish, so like don't take me the wrong way, because I have the utmost respect for you and in all aspects of the water column, Kyle. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Every foot.
I would also say that, like, in a spectator point of view, the blowouts are not as fun. You know,
Like
it's
that
like,
one
oh,
where Ras won in like 2 hours, and we all.
it's
knew we
like,
were fishing
okay, that
second
dude
place.
has 3,865,000 pounds, and you guys are all fishing for second. Good luck. Have a good rest of the day. Cool for him. That part of the story is badass. But the rest is like, okay, everyone's grinding around like you don't even stand a chance. You know,
and I had some similar juice that event, and I don't remember exactly where Ras was fishing the whole event. Like, that's the crazy thing to me.
I know the exact
Was he around Nelson
spot.
Island, or was he on the north end?
So I don't know that lake at all. I have no idea what things are called. I'm not going to try to out his spot, but it was on the far end of the lake, and I did not know about the spot at all. I
On
never
the
found
far
it.
end left side.
Well, farthest away from takeoff.
Yep, farthest away from takeoff, left side.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
And so, like, I did not know about that spot. I had no clue about it. Never found it.
I think
never found it.
Sickinator was all over that stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, the lake is pretty small.
Stick.
The lake is pretty small, and it fish is kind of small. I think.
That's why I was like, dude, if you guys split this lake, you're fucking up.
I knew they
And
weren't
they
going to
didn't.
split it.
Yeah.
I knew they weren't going to split it.
This is a shitty lake to split.
Yeah,
It's
but
a good
it,
lake to not split.
And then, so I had a starting spot there that I was like, I'll never get to this, and I had a shitty boat draw, and I got it. I was like, and it was good. Right on the morning, like smashed them on it. You
Was
know,
it the one with the big pelican rock on the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we knew about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that place is tits.
I thought I had a better spot, so I let you have that.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Where are you guys going this year?
I wish we were going to Pelican, but instead we own a Big Stone first, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
It's dirty water. Like, it's the first dirty water
You've been there?
I have. One,
Okay.
like twice.
Last year at the one Whiting one, I think, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
won.
yeah,
that
yeah.
one. Yep. It's the only guy who didn't set the hook on a fish in practice. So all you Champions Tour anglers who are thinking about Big Stone and actually want to catch your bass tournament day, maybe don't stick them in practice, because the guy who won the tournament I fished out there stuck one fish in practice, maybe,
I literally don't catch
and
any
never
fish.
set the hook the rest of the
I
tournament.
literally don't set the hook in Champs Tour practice ever. Never. Like,
I love that.
I usually catch one or two, and then I cut my hooks off or twist them, or I never catch any of my fish in practice. Never. I don't even care.
Genius.
People are like, what if they're Northerns? I'll figure it out during the
Yeah,
tournament then,
that's
bro. If
genius.
they're Northerns, I'll get the out of there.
You can usually look at your plastic and
Yeah.
find out they're Northerns.
I don't set the hook.
That's
ever.
something you got to get good at. Is not sticking them. Like as hard as it is to do. I mean, you
Do you guys do
can't
that
do
down
it.
south?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
for
course.
sure.
You have
But
to.
I enjoy that too. I'm actually
do too.
like in some twisted ass dimension in my head. I'm like, got like 8 bites on there. That was lit. I bet one of them was a 5. You know, like, and I don't know. They were probably all 12
Yeah,
inchers,
yeah.
but you know, you're kind of like,
Yeah.
dude, what if? What if
You
I
can
roll
kinda-
in here
you
during
can
the
kinda
tourney?
tell sometimes if it's a big one.
You
know,
can.
like
You
they'll,
definitely
they'll
can.
give it that
Oh, they
one
bite
or
a little different.
one
kinda
thump, and they'll just
Yep.
start swinging to the
Yep.
side or whatever.
I've
You
been
can't
using-
tell me a big one bites the same as a pound of thick garter.
Sometimes you're surprised, but
I think,
But-
and so the Champs Tours actually helped me with this. I've shook off so many fish, and I've started using like a screw lock. So if it's just a plastic, I just screw lock it. There's no way you can even catch them if you even tried.
Gave away my biggest trick in the world. You asshole.
You were about to win every tournament.
I
now you're
was
not.
gonna just take the whole thing down, and you just killed my vibe right there, right then and there. No, dude, that's
Sorry,
serious.
bro.
Like, it's a good tip. Keep
No,
it going.
It
but
is.
but when you got them on there, I mean, you can tell. I mean, if you're just feeling them, you can feel them swim. And I fished with a dude in Florida one time, super cool dude, and he was telling me, he goes, "Oh, you got to read their tail. You can feel their tail when a bass is swimming." I'm like, what? And so literally, if you think about this, you can. So a little fish will like that, and
little-
a big ones are like.
Da-da-da.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can feel that. So if your rod's sensitive and you're feeling it, if it's like, whoa, whoa, you're like, yeah, that's a mag, dude. And then the other ones are like, da-da-da-da. You're like, that was weenus.
They go woo woo, then they go
yes.
whoa whoa.
They
Dog.
They definitely do.
They go whoa whoa, and they go whoa whoa. Dude,
Hey, it's a thing, man. It's a definite thing.
my deal with the screw lock thing is, which that's a badass little trick, by the way. Thanks for giving my dirty little
No problem.
secret up.
It's trying to blow you up. You got the podcast. So.
My deal is if you only get your screw back, it was a big one.
Yeah. That's when they got some tough jaws.
If you get your bait back, that was a little one. You get your whole Senko back, that's a little one.
What's a Cinco?
What's a Senko? God. Guy throw the yum dinger. Guy throw the dinger. Guy throw the big dinger or the little dinger. What do you throw for a dinger?
I can honestly tell you I've caught less than 50 bass on any type of Cinco type bait in my entire lifetime. Swear to God, guaranteed fact.
You too?
Yeah, I think
well,
it's a Cinco
You
clinic
too?
master.
You too?
you definitely gotta have it Yamamoto if you're
You're
doing
fucking
doing
right. You gotta
Senko.
have a Yamamoto.
I'm sorry, but
You don't have a
Yeah.
fucking need a Yamamoto.
Why would I want to throw some?
if you're doing it
Weird
wacky,
looking
you need a
goofy worm.
Yamamoto.
Yeah. What do you thought? You throw them fluke stick and
No, just a trick worm.
Oh, that's all right. You're a trick worm. I throw
I don't
He's
throw
he's
Cincos.
not kidding. That's
I
what he
throw the
throws.
No, he
Floating
knows. How
trick
many
worm.
times have you seen me
You
ever throwing a
seriously?
Cinco?
I don't
I've
know.
caught less than 50 bass on a Senko in my life. I guarantee it. I
Dude,
know.
the gayest guy I know throws a Senko. Like, so what does that make you?
Who are you talking about? John's cock?
John's cock? No, John Cox. John's cock. No, but seriously, you wacky rig a weightless trickworm. And
Yeah.
You throw it behind guys who throw a wacky rig Senko, and you're like,
I really don't wacky. I don't wacky.
No, he
That's the
doesn't.
thing.
you Texas rig a
don't.
weightless trickworm. You do the old floating worm trick.
He
The
did.
old
I just
worm
don't
on
throw
top.
trickworms.
You don't throw trickworms.
Not
even.
really.
What do you throw?
Just Texas rig or
Just a
something.
Texas rig or a jig or a top
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Those three.
Seriously.
Maybe a swim jig. Maybe reel my jig.
I'm all about it. Reeling a swim jig.
Oh, I know you reel your jig in most of the time.
Reeling thing fast.
You do. You do.
Yeah, no, I don't throw Senko. I don't know. Not that I think they're bad, whatever. It's not my jam. It's cool.
Yeah,
Whatever.
To each their own, dude. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat.
there is.
What kind of cat are we talking about?
See, if we're a walleye fisherman, we're skinning the cat like only 3 different ways.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
Fucking
2. It's like
suckerminnow,
or
spot-tail shiner, or a
shiner.
creek chub.
Yeah.
3 different ways.
And 4-pound test.
3.5.
serious? They do that too?
He uses 3.5 pound.
I
I
feel like
use
if
4
you got the
pound.
right chub on, you could get away with like 35-pound test.
35. If you got
You got the right chub.
if you
on.
got a red tail chub,
That's what I'm saying.
red tail, yeah,
The right chub.
then you're fine. You can use whatever you want.
Yeah, you can use a steel leader on that
You
red
could.
tail chub.
Yeah,
Lindy rigged that shit.
I don't know nothing about chubs. Except
we trap
for-
our own at our cabin.
You guys throw a Carolina rig?
I do.
I never throw a sea rig at all. My partner Chris, he throws one quite a bit. And
I love a sea rig.
I never throw a Carolina rig. I don't know. It's just not a rig that I throw ever.
It surprises me. It's an efficiency tool, and you seem like a real efficient guy.
It's a super good rig. I would rather throw a roller jig or a wobble.
I'll throw.
Yeah, I dig that.
Throwing that
I'll throw one
over
on
sea rig.
I'll even throw one on a spinning rod.
Oh,
Say what?
that's a mojo rig at that point.
Yeah,
so.
don't lie to
Isn't that
people.
called
not
a?
even kidding you.
Isn't a sea rig on a spinning rod isn't even a sea rig anymore, right?
Yeah,
it's a
it's like-
mojo
no,
rig
how
or
do
a
you
split shot.
How do you
rig.
set the hook?
I'll tell you how.
I just reel into them with a light hook
Yeah.
and my
What size weight?
7.6 Elliott rod.
What size weight?
It was like a quarter
Like a quarter. Okay.
with the
Same.
mono leader,
Mana?
6 or 8 pound, with a
Jesus.
real light hook
You throw that a lot, actually.
That's a finessey little sea rig action.
for sure.
That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
That would
okay.
catch 'em. I guarantee it would work good.
I almost feel bad even asking more questions. About
That's
this.
fine. You can ask as many as you want.
So you're using 6 to 8 pound mono leader,
Yep.
18 to 24 inches,
Yep.
zoom centipede.
I don't think I put
Berkeley
a zoom
flatworm.
centipede.
No, flatworm.
I'm a little secretive about the bait, but I'll let you in on it.
Once we'll land on Saturn, then you can let me in on it. But
No.
as far as everyone's
It's
concerned,
actually-
it's a zoom centipede on
No.
6 pound
Yeah,
trilene
exactly.
mono
So-
with a 1/4 ounce lead weight.
Northland Tackle makes like this brown worm, real skinny one. I use it drop shotting and for that Carolina rig on a spinning rod.
Northland Tackle makes a worm.
Mm-hmm.
The
I think
fuck's
I know
that
the
called?
exact worm you're talking about. That's
You do?
What?
Your
Does
boy
it got a
Tra-
head on it?
No,
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
no.
something different.
It's just
then.
like a regular worm, like a
Your browser's ads.
5 inch.
I know a
skinny
Northland worm.
brown
That's actually
worm,
pretty
dude.
legit.
The thing's legit. Like
Dude.
Northland actually makes them.
Dude, I know they make some sneaky shit. Like, we weren't supposed to, like, let that out. But
Yeah, cut that.
cut.
no, you don't need to cut it.
Cut, motherfucker.
I seen your sweet Northland football head jigs up there, and I was jealous of those.
Yeah, they ain't
They're
Southland
nice.
football jigs. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
This thing's a gas pack.
So, Northland makes, like, a little brown worm.
The thing's legit, dude. I'm telling you.
Is it like
man. They got a smaller one,
it's
and then they got a longer, skinnier one. No,
No, it's like a walleye worm. This is like a walleye worm.
Yeah.
Like a night crawler.
It
like
looks
a,
just
on the
like a
death
night crawler. Yes.
You death
On a-
spiral them motherfuckers.
You could definitely, yes.
on the old spinner rig.
You could definitely put one of those on there.
1.2
Yes.
miles an hour is the
Yes.
magic.
How'd you know that? With the
Resembles a
spinner?
spot
Oh,
tail.
Oh, I've trolled
Oh, you know,
spinners,
okay.
dog.
This
Like
guy
1.2 is like, yeah.
He knows what's up. He knows what's up.
1.2 is where it's at, bro.
I
If you
don't
ain't
troll.
trolling at 1.2, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, man.
Dudes used to troll on the Champs Tour a few years ago, but then they banned that. Thank God. I can't be
I'm
trolling.
pretty sure a guy won a championship trolling, actually.
Yeah, that exactly.
1.2,
It definitely
seriously?
happened.
I think actually,
Yes,
like,
I watched it
like
happen,
the winning
like, a couple
deal
hundred
was
yards away.
was
What was he
1.3.
trolling?
1.3 was the
A-rig.
deal that Derby actually 1.3 miles an hour was actually
He was
the
trolling
magic
like
number.
a what?
Trolling, motor trolling. An
The spiral
A-rig.
of death, Northland bait,
Football jig?
No, an
it's
A-rig. A-rig
Oh,
of
really?
A. Yeah.
towing.
That's called trolling, bro.
No, it
it's
was-
trolling.
Oh, he was towing.
He was towing it. It was
He
different.
would
It was
cast,
towing.
troll a motor, and then reel. Towing.
Yes.
That's trolling, basically.
The
Can you
wind
do
was
that in
blowing,
MLF?
The wind
Can you do
was
that in the
blowing,
opens?
Yeah,
the
you
wind
can.
was
You
blowing,
can't.
and he was trying.
can
He was trying
cast,
to get back to his
Trolling
spot.
motor, and then reel. That's not trolling.
You cannot actually do that in our competition. It's actually a legit rule.
For real?
Yes.
Shooter would
I,
know.
I would never do it.
Shooter's
but-
never trolled
No,
a day in
it's
his life. He's like,
Definitely a real
you were
rule.
fishing behind your boat. Like, that's trolling. Okay? You're fucking DQ'd, okay? Okay?
I don't care.
Like, okay?
Do
I'm
whatever
Kyle
you want.
Schutta. I've never thrown, like, past the passenger seat, bro.
No,
like,
dude. I'm watching my own bobber. I don't give a shit. You can troll
yeah, I'm
all
watching
day
my
long.
own
I don't
bobber
care.
ahead of the passenger seat, bro. Like, it's trolling, dude.
Yeah. Scrolling.
What about
Didn't they call it scrolling?
Scrolling? That's
Scrolling?
extending your cast. Scrolling, dude.
Yeah.
Extending your cast.
Yeah. No.
What's the Northland lure called? I want to know this little secret Northland bait.
I'd have to look up the name of it. They only make a few plastics.
Oh, he's pulling his phone up. Unbelievable.
Google it.
Oh, he's got brazzers pulled up on his phone.
Big old brazzers. Ebony
dude.
POV, baby. Get that trans porn going, baby.
my
Let's go. Chicks with dicks.
What do you guys do out here in, where are we?
The fuck's it
Wilmer?
look like we do? We catch bass and drink beer, bro. That's what we do out here. Northland tackle. Let's check it out. Northland tackle. Turns out there's a few of those. Northland Fishing Tackle Incorporated. We're looking for a little brown worm. Let's find it. Here we go, Minky. All right. We're on the Northland Tackle website. Do you want ebony, POV, black on black? What do you want?
Let's go to the plastics.
Okay, plastics. Got it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the plastic.
Not the black ones.
It's in the open water section, right? Is that correct? Oh, okay. We're almost here. Okay, plastics. Wow, they have a plastic section. Oh my God,
So that's one of them.
Let me see this.
holy
This
shit!
is the other one right here.
Oh my
That's
God,
the
dude,
one.
you're winning bass
That's the
tournaments
one,
on
dude.
wallet, dude. he's
Dude,
so
is there
good.
one called the munchie
Don't
worm?
even tell
Is there
me
one
what
called the
it is.
munchies? That worm's
There's a
legit.
dick sucking
I'm
worm. That's
telling you.
pretty good, dude. Dick sucking worm.
They're legit.
You should buy those. I'll pass. But
Yeah, dude. So okay, so what you're saying is the juice is the impulse jig crawler. What do you do? Well, how do you rig that? Death spiral worm, baby.
That's the Carolina rigged one. There's another one.
So you see rig the impulse jig crawler. so you
Don't
see
even
rig
laugh
a fake
until
night
you do
crawler.
it. Don't even laugh. Until
No,
you
no,
do
I'm
it.
a bitch. Don't forget it,
dude, dude does some stuff. I'm telling you.
So you see rig a spinning rod, a Northland jig crawler. This guy's what we call a natural, folks. Holy smokes,
You're in the crankbait section.
yeah, no, we
Those
don't want
sunny
that.
bees are pretty dialed too.
Sunny
though.
bees are
Yeah.
dialed, dude.
All their crankbaits are pretty money.
They are, dude. Bagley's or sleepers.
Yeah, they are.
Low-key.
Get off of brazzers, dude. Seriously, we're on a fishing
Dog,
podcast.
this is real
Please.
shit, dog. This is real shit. This is real shit. Plastics. Northland Fishing Tackle. POV.
Obviously, his favorite category is POV. He said
For
that like
sure.
42
You
times.
like watching shit third person? No, dude. I want to be there. I want to be in that. You know.
That's why your generation's messed up. You can't get out there and start
For
dating
sure.
chicks. You got to
These
be on
millennials
POV.
were like, dude, I just VR'd all this shit. Like, dude, this ain't the same.
No, they're like
This
no.
real stuff's not real. This real stuff ain't real, bro. Okay, so we got the Impulse jig crawler on the spinning rod C-Rick, and then he upgrades the Impulse night crawler
That's the
for his
one,
casting
dude.
rod
That is the
setups,
one,
ladies and
dude.
gentlemen. So you casting? So is that spinning rod C-Rick?
Yeah.
Jesus, do we need to cut this out?
Yeah,
Like,
cut that
no,
out.
no
yeah,
one's
that's
even
a
gonna
deal.
do this.
I
No
don't-
one's
that's
even gonna
fine.
think we're serious right now.
That's
Like,
fine. Don't do it. More
dude,
for me.
White chicks,
I
black
don't
chicks,
care.
all the chicks, like Brazzers.com, Impulse Crawler, all of it, dude. It's there. Impulse Jig Crawler, Impulse Night Crawler, get you a spinning pole, get you some. You use braid leader to that 6 to 8 pound test.
No, I told you it's a mono, so it floats.
Mono to no, I
Yes.
get it, but like
Yeah,
mean
braid,
mono to
braid,
mono?
braid
You
to
mean
mono.
braid to mono. Braid floats too, dude.
Oh my god. Dude, honestly, you're just like me when I'm practicing with him. I'm like, "How you catching him?" He's like, "I'm doing something like that." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna do that shit.
Yeah,
it's
no,
all
he-
good."
He could care less.
I'm just
no.
like, "Nah, I'm good."
Send me your link, dude. Send me the link. Send me the link, dude. I'm hard as fuck.
He's like, "Get some of these Northland worms." I'm like, "No, I'll be good. You take them."
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just not sure if you've heard this yet. Kyle Minke's juice. What pound braid?
1.5.
10-pound braid.
Get you a spinning pole with 10-pound braid.
Yep.
To a 6 to 8 pound test monofilament
Yes.
leader. Get you an Impulse crawler. Impulse jig crawler, $5.99 on northlandtitle.com. And then an Impulse night crawler when you going for the big shit, when you going for the big dogs, when you going for the big mama jammas, the big girls. That BBW in yo shit. Get you some Impulse night crawler on your spinning rod Carolina action. Oh, Kyle Minke. Dropping the juice, dude.
We gotta get down to the rod and everything too.
No, dude,
We
I
can
don't
do
even
that.
need to know the rod. We gave him enough, dude. That was fucking juice.
Were you a phone sex operator in another life or something? Because you kind of when you talk a little bit low like that.
You know, I've been applying at a few phone sex jobs, and I'm just waiting on my big hit. Just waiting on my big hit. Kyle Schutta.
Oh my god,
Just waiting on my big hit. Just waiting for them big bass.
it's right
that
around the corner. I can feel it.
eat my big Northland crawler on my spinning rod Carolina rig.
Oh my
So that's called like a mojo rig. That's a badass rig actually that no one throws anymore.
No.
No one.
No,
There's.
no.
I bet there's not a single person, including Kyle Schutta, on like that MLF circuit
No.
that even fucking throws that.
for sure.
No. I got a spinning rod in my rod box. Always with that on there.
That's like your gangster setup. That's like you're like
It's like real when
Yeah,
I want to
dog.
get real creepy.
If you go into
going Al
if you,
Pacino on these.
if
bass.
you go into Minke's boat and you open up his left rod locker,
port,
yeah, port.
port side.
port
I don't know the
port
difference.
side. Well, it depends which way you're looking at the boat.
1.9 GPA in high school. All right, bud. We ain't trying to get too technical here. Minke has
That's
like
a plumber GPA,
Yeah.
if you guys are wondering.
Yeah.
HVAC GPA.
Yeah.
HVAC.
The
yeah.
dude's got an array of rods, you know, like pretty typical of like any basser, right?
Yep.
You pull up on the, what is the right side of the boat called?
Starboard.
Starboard side.
Starboard.
You open that. He's got this little drapery thing where all his like ace in the whole spinning rods hang out there. I've seen it. I've been there and watched it, right?
So like starboard side's like your glory coffee.
It is.
Like
Yes,
nobody
for
else
sure.
uses the starboard side
No,
that way.
no,
Everyone's
no,
throwing their
no.
like fucking like shitty Brazzers fucking DVDs and that shit. They're fucking old, used, moldy life jackets. They're throwing all the shit they're never gonna grab in that starboard locker. Minke's
Empty
like,
beer cans and used condoms.
No,
on the left side.
that's the one. It's got a light and shit.
yo, dude,
Yes.
this is the Brazzers golden stash in here,
Yes.
dude.
The rods can't even touch each other. He's like,
Nope.
if the sun hits the line for more than 15 minutes, it could weaken my knot.
does, it does.
And if the rods touch each other, that's bad mojo.
Well, we like to go golfing on days in between.
You guys golf?
So if you keep it all in the sun, your line breaks easier. You got to put that shit away in the shade. You can't have it sitting out in the sun. It breaks. Telling
That's why people carry golf bags.
you. Yep.
I had no idea.
Me neither.
You golf?
No.
I didn't.
A little bit, once in a while. Like
Yeah, I
once a
knew
year.
it. I knew it.
I suck. I suck.
His wife, Shelby's Shelby's taking lessons though. I have to
Yeah.
golf with her.
It's her new hobby, I guess.
got that Bagger Vance swing.
Oh, she does.
Got that Bagger Vance swing, dude.
My wife comes with. She drives the cart, and buys us drinks, and it's fun.
Cheeky.
Jenna's my kind of girl.
I know.
cheeky.
I'm telling you.
Jenna, you're my kind of girl.
Wait till you have one of her dinners
Oh,
or
my
lunches.
gosh.
Do you have any sisters?
No, 2 brothers.
Well, good, because
Yeah.
I have to pee. Mentally, you have it figured out and you don't, or mentally, you have it figured out and you do, or somewhere in between. But, like, frame of mind with fishing is a weird voodoo deal. And I don't believe in witchcraft, but I'm a bass fisherman, so maybe I should somewhat believe in witchcraft. Like, have you guys had any weird, like, witchcraft voodoo, like, freaking moments on the water? Like, oh my god.
No, I don't think I have. No.
No, I don't think I've had any witchcraft or weird voodoo things, but
Okay. Like, so all your goose weigh the same? Like, when you put the goose on the... It's a witch.
yeah.
It's always a witch.
I don't know. Dude, fishing definitely is mental. Like, it's a circus in your head all day long, I think.
yeah,
I know
for
it is
sure.
in mine.
you-
Anyway.
If you don't think you're gonna catch them, you ain't gonna catch them. Like if you think you're gonna catch a 4 or 5 pounder every cast, you're probably gonna do that. Not every cast, but you're gonna catch one eventually.
That's a fact.
That's how I think. I don't know. Like
I go on and off about that. I've had times where I'm like, blown up, this is, oh shit, yeah, okay, that did not suck.
You've
Okay,
had
know.
negativity work to your favor?
I mean, yeah, I've caught them when I've been pissed off.
Okay.
I don't
Now,
think I ever have.
probably-
To be honest with you.
Probably not the most ideal thing to be doing, for sure. But yeah, yeah, I've been pissed and caught them for sure.
Probably not the most ideal thing to be doing, but I was catching them.
Hey man, sometimes you get pissed out there, dude. If you fished enough tournaments, you've been fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. I'm
Dude,
pissed.
I promise, but I just don't catch them as good when I'm pissed. It's like when I'm
I don't
happy,
either.
dude.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
so much
kinda-
better when you're happy.
I'll sometimes just channel another gear and
Yeah.
get pissed, and then I'm just like, okay, yeah, okay.
Well, you call it mad at 'em, right? They call it mad at 'em.
Yeah,
mad
mad.
at 'em.
And sometimes I think this is probably one of my biggest hang-ups is that I get too in my head, you know. Well, I'm sure freaking
You get too
everybody.
mad at 'em?
Yeah, I just start overthinking this and second guessing that, and that leads down the road of bad decisions.
Sounds like you were straying away from anger. Maybe you should just stick with anger.
I just might
Maybe you
the
should
rest
just
of the
stick
year.
with
Yeah.
anger, you know?
No,
Yeah,
you're doing
stick
fine
with
what
anger.
you're doing. I'd stick with it.
Yeah, no, it's been working. So
I
Yeah.
don't know, dude. Maybe you should just be angry. Like Slipknot, like in the
Nah.
back of the creek.
I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude. Not that dude.
No.
I was actually. So I got a sick story.
Through a Slipknot face. Yeah.
Right.
I got a pretty sick story. We just come back from Lake of the Ozarks, and they're on bed there, and I love to catch them on bed. And
On bunk.
For anyone who's wondering, Kyle Schutta loves to catch him on a bed.
loves, understatement. So,
Loves. Like better than Brazzers.
oh, it's not even close.
Not even
like,
close,
not even
dude.
close.
This episode is brought to you by just north of Memphis Barbecue. This is world champion barbecue. If you smoke meat and you don't like good barbecue, I do not know what to tell you right now besides you need to try some of this stuff. They've got their rub. They've got their sauces right on their website. They've got their famous dry rub award-winning seasoning that you can put on ribs, brisket, pulled pork, chicken, wings, anything you like to put on the smoker, on the oven, on the grill, any meat you like to cook, you need some of this dry rub seasoning in your life. But don't forget the sauce, because that's award-winning world champion sauce here. No matter what flavor you like, they've got 3 different sauces, and they are all good. You can drink them straight out the bottle. We've got Sweet Christie's for all you sweet-loving barbecue folk. We've got Christie's Mischief for all you spicy bass anglers out there. And then we've got Christie's Gold. And they'll sell all 3 of them in a combo. But you need to go to their website right now. It's jnomemphis.com. That's jnomemphis.com. Dry rub, sauce, barbecue. Let's go! It's been confirmed. Aliens from another planet have landed on Earth. Sources say there's been 2 confirmed landing points for these extraterrestrial beings. One being Japan, and also, unexpectedly, in Minnesota at Waypoint Angler Supply, a local tackle shop on Lake Minnetonka. With the ever-expanding universe, it's no surprise that there are other planets out there that also share our love for the sport of bass fishing. And to Earth's surprise, this latest visit came from extraterrestrial fishermen light years away and many innovations ahead when it comes to fishing equipment. Some hypothesize these beings came from the planet of Naboo, matching up with Mayan folklore dating back thousands of years with fishing equipment ahead of their time. It has been confirmed they left things never seen before by an Earth-born bass. Waypoint Angler Supply is the premier space station in the bass galaxy and has tackle that could previously only be found in Japan or the planet of Naboo. The Waypoint ship is full, but we don't know when the astronauts from Naboo will be back. So hurry in to Waypoint Angler Supply today and stock up on that Area 51 Planet of Naboo JDM good before your buddy is whooping that sweet ass of yours. Stop into their store on Lake Minnetonka or visit their website, waypointanglersupply.com. That's waypointanglersupply.com. Use the code GALAXY20 to save 20% on your next tackle binge. Aliens are real. Thank you. This podcast is brought to you by my brother from another mother, my tournament partner, and the best rod builder north of the equator that still has 20/20 vision, Veselka Fishing and Customs, specializing in custom fishing rods. Your custom rod, the way you want it, because it has to be your rod. However, he has a wide variety to choose from, including his all-new for 2023 custom chicken rod. If you throw the big fluff, the hairy Gary, the rotisserie dissery, the half-ounce Palomalu, the 3/4-ounce rooster biscuit, the lightener looking like D. Snyder, you're going to want to be throwing the Veselka Fishing Chicken Special Big Hair Jig Rod. Mr. Veselka spent a lot of time on this rod, and it has the perfect action to throw, hook, and land those fish that you maybe pulled the bait out from because the rod was too stiff, or had them spit it because your rod didn't have the backbone. Well, the new Chicken Special from Veselka Fishing and Customs has worked to solve both of those issues, along with superior balance and quality components. So head on over to his website, VeselkaFishing.com. That's VOCELKA fishing.com. Pick this rod up before it's too late, because up here in the North Country, they about to be schooling.
So, day one, I had a bunch of fish marked that I wanted to fish, and dude, the big ones are being fucking stingy. You'd fish. I fished for multiple big ones for 20 plus minutes. Some would like get it. They get half the bait and spit it out. And it's like, and so I just went on a roll where like I had a pretty good, like an okay bag. I would say like 12 pounds or something like that. But I had a 1 pound spotted bass in the well. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm fishing like, down by, closer to the dam. And I'm like, I got to do something. I got to do something. I'm like pissed at this point. Like in that little bit fit of rage that we talked about. And I'm like, I got to make something happen. God. And I'm like, okay. I knew where there was a big one laying behind a dock. And this dock was like so on Lake of the Ozarks, they have community docks where, like there's like 35 townhomes and one dock feeds all 35. So anyways, we got this big dock and it has, 2 walkways going to it to feed it. And there's cables all around every walkway, whatever. Well, when the sun was perfect in practice, I had seen this giant roaming like in the dead center in between both these walkways. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can get my boat to that fucking fish. Like, I just don't know if I can get to that fish, But I was like, maybe on that one side, it's kind of shallow, but I can get in there, So I'm like, tournament's going on. It's like 1 o'clock. I'm like, I got to make something happen. I run like 20 minutes drive doing 70 miles an hour all the way down to this area, go all the way back. I get behind this dock and there's a bunch of jet skis in between like the shore. And it's like, I don't know. I guess the Camus floats in like 6 inches of water because I trimmed my motor all the way out of the water, pulled my trolling motor, and then grabbed onto the jet skis and pulled myself to that drawbridge. Got to the drawbridge, or the walkway, or whatever you want to call it, whatever blows your hair back. And my trolling motor wouldn't go under it. So I was like, fuck. And the fish was still like a far ways, like in between, So I'm like, screw it, dude. I got one of them nets. I think it's a Loki, and it extends out to like 8 feet. Thing's badass.
He was bragging about it before the
tournament. I go, dude, just wait till it happens, dude. This and that, Yeah. So and there's gonna be GoPro footage of this coming out. I'll put it out on my Instagram and shit. It's gonna be badass, dude. This fish catch is legit. So
KyleSchuttafishing.com. I'm just kidding. I don't know, whatever your website is.
Instagram and Facebook, whatever. It'll be on there. But
Instagram.com.
So
go ahead.
I extend this net out. I get on top of my trolling motor, and I'm like, look, I'm over the bridge like this. My like elbows are on it, and I'm like, yeah, it's like probably about 45 feet over there. And I got a spinning rod with 10-pound test. And I'm like, just launch this cast, right? And my worm hits the water, and it's sitting there going down. And I just see the dark shadow come out. I'm like, oh. Dude, and it was a battle. So my boat
play that.
So long story short, this thing battled me around and went all over the town. I finally get it to like the walkway. My line's over the walkway, like on the metal, scraping. I like grab that long ass net, reach all the way up, and scoop that thing up. It was a 4.8, and it called out a 1-pounder.
Dude, that was so huge in that tournament.
Oh, dude.
Because I had his bag every day and just couldn't get a big one. It just wouldn't happen for me.
And I caught.
You were playing the cable all day.
Yeah, I was trying to not play the cable.
Playing the dock cable.
I hate the
That's
dock
a real
cables.
thing. Like people in Minnesota, you guys don't fucking know. Like you go down south,
there's no floating docks.
you play the dock cable.
They're all cables everywhere.
All of them. You're throwing under a cable.
And
you skip under a dock, cool, man. That's sweet. Like
Try to skip under
skip
two
under
cables and
skip
a
under
dock.
4 cables and a dock and a bedfish under the dock.
Yes.
That's where
what
the
Schuta's
biggest
talking
ones
about
were.
right now. Is
And you're going in and out of the things and backing your boat out the same way it
takes
came
forever.
in and backing around. It takes forever. You're casting like under dock cables sometimes. And then you got that weird cast where like the dock cable's 2 feet off the water and you want to cast over the top of that, but under the next one.
You're right.
Mr. Minke. It's a what was the what and the what?
A Nico or a drop
And
shot.
I do a Nico and a drop shot.
I'm not a big shaky head.
And
guy.
Mr. Schutta does a little bit of drop shot. And what else do you do?
Not much more than that. Drop shot, a little bit of wacky, and
Little bit
Try
of
to-
wacky.
try to stay the hell away from that type of shit if I can.
Try to stick to the jig.
Yes. Try to stick to winding a plug, honestly. If I'm going to do anything, I'd like to wind a plug. That's what I like to do.
Yeah,
That's probably my
definitely
most...
good.
So
at
much
doing that.
fun, dude.
Dude,
I
yes.
so much enjoy winding a plug.
If I can catch them on like a square bill or something, I'm all about that. I am so all about that.
Zero plug bite. Me, Mr. Minke.
Yeah, that dude knows how to wind a plug.
I'll wind a
Mr.
plug.
Minke. It is a fucking hell of a time. Hell of a time.
What do you like to wind, Mr. Blue Wing Teal?
I like to wind a plug in a swimmer.
No, you don't.
Swim
No,
jig?
I love
swim
a
jig.
plug. Swim jig.
Swim jig.
Yeah.
I like a swim jig. I like a swim bait. I like a plug. Dude, I have a problem with bass fishing,
Yeah.
and I like to wind all of it,
Yeah.
and it is bad.
That's fine. We all got that.
I caught some on a mag draft down in Ozarks in the morning.
I fucking love.
Dude, I had a bass on
things
the
are sick.
last day. I throw a mag draft, it eats it right at the trolling motor. I swing it in, it's hooked. The trebles are right here on the bottom of lip. It bites at the trolling motor. When I swing it in, it's spraying blood out. I got it in the boat. It
big one
covered
too,
the
wasn't it?
bottom of my boat. It was 2 3/4.
Oh, I thought it was a bigger one.
It covered the bottom of my boat with blood. I was like, what the? Before I could take the hook out of it. You gonna make it?
What?
Time on, he's dying.
That fish spray blood?
I don't know what happened. I swing the thing in, and like I take it off. I put it in the live well. I'm like, what? It was the first fish I caught. I filled the live well up. I looked in there in like 30 seconds. The whole live well's red. And Boatworks, the Boatworks crew was filming me, so they had a camera. And the guy's like, I got a monster. Do you want me to give you my monster? You can pour it on. I'm like, yeah, give me your monster. I go over to his boat, get the monster, open the live well. The fucking thing's stone dead. It's already got rigor mortis. I'm like, what kind of artery did we hit on rigor mortis? Dude,
That's
I don't know
crazy.
what happened. Thing bled everywhere. I hit some artery in its tongue or something like that. You know what
Right.
that Megabass
Yeah, it's
how am I
got
talking about? Mag draft has the hook on the bottom,
like
so
a number
I get
4, number 2, or whatever, big one.
But if they eat it straight on, you got that hook in the bottom. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that.
The hook
Uses the freestyle because of that.
well, the hook.
Long story short, we got a dead one.
The hooking
The regular
percentage
mag
is
draft
better.
is harmful to the bass, so Kyle Schutta personally uses the freestyle based on
he
environmental consent
No, he
with
doesn't.
bass.
He gets them in
and-
the boat.
Yeah, but you'll hook them fucking right in the tongue, bud.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, fucking hook it right in the tongue with the fucking mag draft.
Is that what you do?
I don't throw a mag draft much, but when I do, the water temp's between 50 and 60 degrees, bud.
Okay.
Pretty
That's
good
what
call.
it was there.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Pre-spawn in fucking September, bud.
Dude, that thing was skinny as a rail.
Was
Had a
it?
big head.
Post
Thing should have been like a 3.5. It was a 2
Right.
3/4.
2 3/4.
Died.
Jacopo
He's
Galileo.
small,
Yeah.
small bastard.
You
2
better-
3/4.
You're better at impersonating him than
We let him go.
dude.
We let
Jacopo?
him live. 2 3/4, we let him live.
That guy's cool.
Jacopo says, I did
3
not
1/4, we make him die. 2 3/4, we let him live.
I did not catch enough big bass for me to make onto the cut here, so I am going home, but I am going to eat a nice steak tonight.
My friend Sergey take 5th place in bass tournament. He catch big bass. He throw mag draft for 5 hours. He catch no bass. He throw Kyle Schutta finesse jig homemade and catch like 4 bass. Win
Homemade.
tournament. He catch big bass on Kyle Schutta homemade jig.
Yeah.
So like iPad in the boat. That's clutch.
In a small percentage of tournaments.
So, Mr. Minke,
I think he's just jazzed up about playing ping pong or something like
Dude,
that.
I'm ready to get that net out.
At some point in time before Kyle Minke and Aaron Teal dies, we will have a fucking ping pong
No,
match.
this is going on tonight, dude.
Yeah, it
going
is.
down.
Definitely
It's
going
going
tonight. Since you're nicely lubed up right now, I mean, we definitely are gonna do this tonight.
Go, you go ahead with that Tonka info. I'm listening here.
Trying to divert the
Wild.
subject.
You're
You know-
the golf ball guy.
okay.
I knew it. I knew he's
We-
the golf ball guy.
We,
the
we
whole
got to talk
time.
a little bit of how we switched it up last year too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do got to talk
Okay,
about
go
that.
ahead.
Denny's on Tonka. Okay, we fished the Denny's. I think Chris and I have fished the Denny's. Chris Amiot and I started fishing there. We fished around Chisago, and I'm like, dude, we got to go on to the next biggest and best thing. What's the next thing? Denny's on Tonka. That's the thing. Everybody talks about it. Let's do that. Okay, so we went there blind, didn't know a thing about it. I think we fished like 5 or 6 years. We had to have fished at least 6 years, probably at Denny's on Tonka. The first tournament, the worst we've ever finished in that 6 years is third.
This
So-
is the Mintonka
And the,
Classic,
the
right?
early one?
No, this is the Denny's.
The early
First
one, though.
Denny's.
First Denny's.
The first
Got it.
Denny's, the first we finished is third. So we've had a good run with the first one. And the second one
Damn
too.
good run, dude.
The second one too. And I mean, you know, people are like, oh, you can't catch them out of the springtime. You know, we had every year that we entered Angler of the Year, we were always in the top 10 every single year. We had some really good runs and good time. And, you know, the summer's cool, but we got some work to do in the summertime there for sure, you know, but dude, I got burnt out being out there in the summertime with the freaking cruise ships and all the trim driving by, having way too much fun when I'm trying to catch a bass. That
triple
shit just
Ds.
wears on me,
Like-
dude. I'm like, no, why am I doing this? I'm doing the wrong thing.
Here's the deal. I like to control my titties on my brazzers all day.
The springtime tournament, the Denny's Super 30, the first one, we had really good success in that one. And, like, honestly, in my opinion, that's when Tonka fishes like a normal lake. It really does. That's when bass do springtime things. It's pretty predictable. They're spawning, and you just got to find them, and that's what it is. And I love doing that. I love doing that. We just came from Lake of the Ozarks. That's what they're doing there. And really, you know, Chris and I, we practice separate. So we have 2 boats on the water, and we do practice for 3 straight days. So different than the rest of the season. Chris and I would always fish a tournament. We would leave, we would go home, and then we would just practice for the weekend, 2 days, and then we have the tournament, we go home. I'm not one of them Tonka dudes that spends tons of time out there. I've never spent a bunch of time out there. I really don't know the lake all that good. But in the springtime, when bass are doing springtime type shit, we each spend 3 days a piece out there, and we just find as many as we can. You know, that's real. I mean, there's no rocket science behind it. Honestly, there really isn't.
The brazzers of bass fishing, ladies and gentlemen.
Here he goes.
Kyle Schutta. If there's anybody who knows, you know, how a bass wants to make love, it's
Pretty good
Kyle
at it. He's
Schutta.
pretty good
Like,
at it.
like let's be honest, Minky. Right now, like, if bass is like going Marvin Gaye on it, like fucking straight lighting candles, like straight up fucking playing the saxophone, like doing that fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I'll feed them the wine
shit,
they want to
like,
drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Luther Vandross and that shit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like Kyle Schutta's like, he's like,
Savage
nobody hears
compliment,
that Luther
Teal.
Vandross better than Kyle
Right.
Schutta. He's like, they playing Luther Vandross motherfucking back here, man. Oh my God, I am going back here. Right now, I can hear the Luther Vandross playing in my ears. I am Kyle Schutta. I am going back into this back ass motherfucking channel. I'm going to see these bass making sweet ass love. Oh my God.
No, actually, that's another misconception. We're not
Okay.
always in the back channels and that stuff.
Little
So,
Aretha.
yeah, a little bit of Franklin, but you know, really, the biggest thing I can tell you about Tonka is in the springtime, it does change a little bit every year. It's different. I hate to
believe
be
you.
that broken record ass dude saying, Tonka, it changes. But You know, in the springtime, we never catch them in the same place. Never.
I love that, dude.
Yeah,
That's gangster.
It's definitely different, but you just know what to look for. If you're a good springtime guy, you just kind of know the little nooks and crannies to hit.
That's some Tupac Biggie shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, they move, dog. They don't change.
They don't move that far, but they kind of switch up a little bit.
Yeah, dog. That's some Tupac changes, like 1998 shit. Yeah.
I think we took second.
I don't know. We took second or third, but there's a bunch of people crying in their Cheerios, pissed off about, you subbed, and that's been going on forever. Denny had to email him back and let him know, that's a legal thing that you can do in this
dog.
tour.
We had to fish Big Marine our whole lives. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, we just got here. Like, we had to fish Big Marine Lake our whole lives. I don't think you understand.
It just comes down to this: if you're catching them, you ain't.
One.
That's a bad one.
It comes down to if you're catching them, you're not bitching, but if you're not catching them, you're huffing and puffing, and that's just how it is.
Every time, dude.
Freaking if you smashed a bag, you wouldn't give.
Only person you can blame is yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
No, I respect that about you guys. And what I think's cool about you guys is, and just like everybody that honestly comes on here, you guys do your own thing. Like, you guys do you.
Right. That's all you can do.
To me, you don't get in anyone's way if you're doing you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You don't get in no one's way because there's no one who can do it like Schutta does it. There's no one who can do it like Kyle Minke does it. And you both do it a little bit different.
A little bit
So to
cockeyed.
speak.
There's no
little
right
bit
way.
different.
You just got to do it your own way, man.
Yeah.
It'll come together.
There definitely isn't a right or wrong way to go about it. I mean, there is a wrong way. You know,
Yeah.
there's multiple ways to skin a cat.
A lot of ways to skin the cat.
Saturn came quick. Fucking Teal's been at Pluto for 35 minutes.
Dog, I've been here a while, dog. It took you so long.
I can handle it.
You've been here 5 minutes.
long,
What took you so long?
So what else we got?
Yeah, dog. I don't know. Well, I think there's a little bit left to this Makers. It's pour for all of us. And Mr. Minke's glass is a little light on the
It's
ice.
definitely light.
Mr. Schutta's
Hook
glass
it up.
has some ice left in it.
Ice.
Some ice.
Are you excited about Maryland?
No,
You're
not
not?
too much.
Potomac River?
Potomac River, I don't know, man. I feel indifferent about it, kind of. I feel like it's going to be kind of challenging. I mean, I guess I'm up for it, but...
Yeah. I think you'll do fine. There's plenty of grass there and all kinds of stuff to fish. I think it'll be fun. I've been there twice now, but
yeah. You're
It'll
going
be
to do
fun,
good
man.
out there. You kind of got a good grasp of what to do out there.
just them tidal waters they're a little different, man. Like,
Dude. Fuck.
if you can find where they live and like,
I'm just afraid of fishing in like a big group. I don't want to do that. I don't want to end
Yeah.
up sitting in a pile of people trying
There-
to wait for them to bite. I don't want to.
there's definitely that there, but the fish will scatter out there too. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more water than you think. It won't be like an Eufaula.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little more spread out.
Yeah.
And then the Mississippi River,
Hey, whatever.
yeah.
I've never launched a boat there. Can't be
I
bad.
think I've only been there once, maybe twice.
Where's you guys' next one?
Potomac.
Maryland, Potomac, yeah.
Little tidal fishery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy there. Easy there.
Bro.
Dude, I missed the mark on
Oh
that.
my god. This dude's made his mark.
They don't call it Maker's Mark for nothing, dude.
Oh, man, thanks.
Oh my god.
You see that? That's Maker's Mark, dude.
He
That's why
made
they
his
call
mark.
it Maker's Mark. That's why they call it Maker's Mark. That's why they call it Maker's Mark, dude. right there. See that?
This podcast is going to be 45 minutes long.
45.
We'll have to cut at least 3:45 out. Yeah.
No.
Oh, at least Cole's having fun.
Yeah. Cole's definitely having fun.
I hope we're all having fun.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
be
having a
honest.
blast.
No, we're having fun.
Are we going fishing tonight at like midnight?
Yeah, dude.
Buzzbait.
First person to catch a bass before 1 a.m. wins.
Let's take the Saxist out there and fucking catch a couple.
Dude,
Buzz-
horny toes are tied on.
Buzzbait
dude.
off the dock. Yeah.
Fucking, yeah,
sure.
dude.
You guys are going to have this ping pong tournament. I think Minky's going to whoop you up.